Good evening, South Central Pennsylvania. High school sports live in partnership with the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. Jack Giambavo Family of Dealerships and Hoffman Ford is proud to bring you the District 6A Championship featuring Central Dauphin Rams versus the Harrisburg Cougars. I'm Todd McCall along with Archie Smith Jr. and Jerome Presley. Tonight it's a great game. It's round two, a close one in the regular season in the big Commonwealth Division. Harrisburg coming away with a 20-5 victory. But, guys, we know that this is not regular season. This is playoffs. And when you have playoffs, special things happen. And Jerome, there's a lot of special players tonight. We're going to look defensively tonight and offensively because there's a lot of special players on the field. And Harrisburg being 11-1 and Central Dauphin being 9-3, step up. They're playing probably their best football, both teams, the Rams and the Cougars, of all season because of some of these players.
Yeah, you talk about both teams playing extremely well, extremely good football. And it starts with Central Dauphin, it starts with Adam Burkhart. He's been the heart and soul of this team. Offensively, over 1,200 yards rushing, 20 touchdowns. But defensively, you're talking about the Mid-Penn Commonwealth defensive MVP. He's had over 272 tackles in his career. So he's all over the field, doesn't get much of a breather, and still plays at a high level. You also have defensive tackles that are going to be big, and you have Jaden Baylor. Jaden Baylor is having a good season. 45 tackles for a defensive tackle in the middle of that defense is going to be very big for them to be able to stop Harrisburg. On the other side, we can't talk about Harrisburg offensively unless you talk about Kane Everson. We have watched Kane Everson grow as he's gotten older from his days at Central Dauphin East, transfers to Harrisburg. Anybody that had a question about what he wanted to do, he didn't want to play quarterback. Now you're looking at him and he's turned into a star at quarterback, over 1,984 yards, 26 touchdowns, and he leads the Cougars in rushing with 827 yards rushing. On the defensive side of the ball, the last game, Dante Nichols was all over the place. You're talking about tackles, sacks. He was all over the place, and Central Dauphin is going to have to be accountable to him. And then defensively at linebacker, Jai Burney. You know how we have sometimes those running backs that are really short in stature, and the defenders can't find them? Well, this is the same thing that happens on the defensive side of the ball when you have a linebacker that's short in stature, but he's a bulldozer, and he comes through the lane, and he really fills those holes on defense very well.
Well, offense versus defense, and we like both sides of the defensive side, but I want to first of all highlight Kane Everson. You're looking at the defensive side of things. Archie, both of you guys play defense. You're going in this locker room tonight. How do you stop 26 touchdowns through the air, a lot on 7 on through the air and 26 on the ground? How do you stop 33 touchdowns in a guy like Kane Everson?
What I want to do is, with my defense, I'm going to come back. I'm going to take my game footage from the last game we played them where we held them to 5-0 before the half. And as you can see that Central Dauphin kind of dominated the line of scrimmage. As we said, that Central Dauphin was going to play this team very physical, and I think that's the thing that they need to do this day. They need to come out and try to overpower the Cougars to try to keep the game where they can keep it close and bottle this quarterback up. I mean, you cannot make him run and you cannot make him pass because he can do both of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a nice strategy for my team, for my guys. We're going to believe into our defensive strategy that we've been prepping all week, and we're going to come out and we're going to see can we sustain Mr. Everson tonight, guys.
Well, Everson needs to be sustained. Adam Burkhart on the other side needs to be sustained. But we got a great game. The District 6 Championship coming up here on ABC 27. We're proud to present it. Kickoff right after these messages.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Welcome to the District 6A Championship game at Landis Field. Todd McCall, Archie Smith Jr., Jerome Presley, and I in the booth together. We got a great one. It's been 10 years, and now we got what a way to end the season with the 6A Championship. Central Dauphin 9-3, the Harrisburg Cougars 11-1, Central Dauphin 1. The coin toss, and they're actually going to receive. So we're going to be underway here shortly.
Well, again, I think Central Dauphin, they want to get the ball and just really take it downfield and see if they can get in the end zone right away.
It was Willie Schuler on the left side. Actually, that was Nick Chimente with the return. And Central Dauphin will have the ball.
Well, Todd, you talk
Around
about
25.
beating a team once is a chore in itself.
Right.
Beating a team twice in the season is even a bigger chore. And I'll tell you what, this Central Dauphin team is really hyped up for this game.
Well, they're kind of getting a home game. They're the visitors on the clock tonight. Harrisburg is going to be the home team. Burkhart right side, not much there. Boy, oh boy. Harrisburg said no way. Coming up to make the tackle was Jameer Plant, the running back and D-back. Just going inside this game to get here in this District 3 championship game, get here at 9-3. Central Dauphin had to beat some really good teams. They had to beat the number 6 seed, Central York, and they beat them soundly 49-21. And we had Central York in the beginning of the year. They were great. Manheim Township they beat.
Soundly.
Another solid victory. And then Harrisburg on the other side being the number 1 seed. So we have the 1-3 seed playing tonight. But Harrisburg had to defeat Hempfield 42-0, and they beat Wilson, the 4th seed. Burkhart, left side, and you can hear the Harrisburg Cougar fans excited. Dante Kent coming up to make the tackle.
And what you're already seeing is, we talk about defenses and we talk about Central Dauphin's defense. Harrisburg may be the best defense in the area. They give up 10.5 points a game. They've had 3 shutouts, and 3 other times they held opponents to under 10 points. So we see this team defensively,
right.
They are very hard to move the ball on.
Well, Burkhart's going to be called upon, as you talked about in our pregame. He's going to be called upon a lot. The guy benches 350 pounds, and he's a 500-pound squatter. That kid, 272 tackles. He's 2nd in Central Dauphin Ram history. Hoffman's pass is complete to Chimente, and he's still going to be short of the first down, so it's going to be 4th down, and Central Dauphin will punt. And Harrisburg will get the stop they want on the first possession.
And he runs right into number 1, Andre White, Texas A&M recruit. We've seen him for 2 years now in Harrisburg. He's the staple of this defense, and they have stars all over the place
everywhere
on this field. I mean, you talk about 2 teams that just has really good players on both sides of the ball.
Well, special teams will be a big key too. I know we like to talk about it, and that punt's going to take a nice roll. It's going to be down at the 16-yard line while Harrisburg will be backed up. And let's go down to Archie Smith Jr. on the field. Archie, I mean, we talk a little bit about defense today. We've talked about offense, but, man, you cannot forget special teams play. That was a good punt.
That was a great punt, but as me and Jerome know, you have to field that ball as a punt returner and look to get some type of field yardage back, or at least fair catch the ball.
And Archie, I gotta comment that you wore a lot of favorite shoes, but tonight those golden shoes might take us home here tonight, man.
I
gotta give it to you.
Hey, District 3 championship, man. Everybody got to bring their best out tonight.
Absolutely.
This is for gold. So Archie's shoes is telling us what it's all about. Kane Everson, 4 receivers left side, no backs. Dump off, and he's going to hit Gant. Gant's going to be pushing and shoving to get across the 15-yard line. And a host of Central Dauphin Rams coming up to make the tackle. And as you mentioned, Jaden Baylor, who has 46 tackles, comes up to make the initial stop.
And swarming defense from Central Dauphin. We talked about Harrisburg defensively. Well, let's talk about Central Dauphin. They give up 13.5 points a game defensively. 2 shutouts, and 3 times they've held a team under 10 points during the season.
The give was to Plant, right side. Baylor also on the tackle, and he'll get 4, and Sam Schmidt, also the senior for Central Dauphin, coming up to make the tackle. I tell you, it's you can tell right now this game's going to be absolutely stingy in the running game, both sides.
And remember, Central Dauphin held Harrisburg 20 points, 0 points in the first half the last game, so that tells you what this defense can do.
Everson going to keep it himself, and that's where he's dangerous. He'll come up and be met with, and Mason Griffiths come up to make the tackle.
Now, that is the one area I think that Central Dauphin still has to figure out a way to bottle up. And we were talking about it when we had a break, what a mush rush can do. A mush rush is when your defenders on the defensive line are rushing, but they're actually keeping their gap contained. So they don't want to just come firing at the quarterback to try to keep Kane Everson in the pocket. The last game he got out of the pocket. You can't man him up. You have nobody on your roster that can run with him. So you can't man him up, so you try to mush rush to contain him.
Harrisburg will have to punt. It'll be a 4th and 1. High snap. Ooh, and almost got blocked, and now they bumped it. There's no flags. Chimente will have a fair catch across the 50-yard lines. There was no flags there. Incidental bump on the kicker. And Central Dauphin, Noah Hoffman will come up for their second possession. Let's take a look at it again here, Jerome. No call there. That's good. Well, I don't know.
I mean, maybe a running into, which would have been a 5, but it's there you go. But again, both defenses did exactly what they wanted to do. Two of the best defenses in the area, both get 3 and outs.
Holton bumped the kicker, number 5. He came in and tried to hold himself up, but no call. Hoffman's going to get the play off the sideline. Burkhart's is single back. Play action, going to roll to his left and just going to be swarmed by the Cougars defense. That's going to be a loss. And there's Andre White Jr., the Texas A&M product, coming up to make the tackle.
Yeah, I mean, that is where it's difficult because this pass rush for Harrisburg, they don't give you a lot of time at all on the play. I mean, you get a second and a half maybe, and you got to get rid of that ball because they're coming. And those guys come very fast. Watch for CD to see if they maybe go to a screen game or some type of counter game to try to slow up that pass rush.
Noah Hoffman's going to have trips receivers to the right and bunch. Going to fake over that side, but nothing there. And it's going to be stood straight up by Andre White. And man, did he come in hitting along with Kent and Plant.
And it's just that speed. You're seeing that speed of that defense. They're very stout. They're hard to get an inch on. Right now, Central Dauphin has done nothing but go backwards. They can't even go forward. They have no time to throw the ball. And then on that back end, you have that secondary that's extremely talented as well.
It'll be 3rd and 15. Long way for Noah Hoffman in the Rams. Hoffman's going to keep it himself. He's going to run left side, try to get back to the line of scrimmage and get it a little bit more. So it'll be 4th down for Central Dauphin. They'll have to punt again on their second possession.
And again, another 3 and out. So these defenses are fitting the bill right now, showing what you got. Noah Hoffman tries to get as much as he can to get some of these yards back, see if he can catch this defense off guard. Defense holds.
And that punt's going to take a roll outside of the 18, probably down to 18. And Harrisburg will have their second possession here the first quarter. So far, Archie Smith Jr., it's a stalemate defense. Lots of defense being played right now.
This is what you expect when you have a District 3 championship game going in with two teams who played each other before, that knows what one another is going to do. You're going to have a stalemate. Once the adrenaline settles down and the game starts flowing, then guys, we'll see how these guys are really going to come out and compete.
It'll be 1st and 10. Kane Everson will have twin receivers left and right. Give to Plant. Plant right side. He's a hard runner too. Does all he can to scrap and get every extra yard he can.
And we got number 73 Baylor again on the play. We highlighted him. Look at him, big number 73. Look at what he does. He goes right to where the play is, diagnoses it well. Big kid in the middle doing his thing.
Everson back to pass, looking downfield, going to throw it up, and it's going to connect it to Rynell Gant. And that's his favorite receiver. Gant coming up and making a nice play.
And this is where I think Kane has grown the most. We always knew him to be a runner. You always thought he was a runner playing quarterback. Now he is legit a true dual threat quarterback. He can really hurt you passing the ball now and what he can do.
So Plant will be right side, and give him you're going to see a nice dose of him tonight, number 5. 5:13 to play. It'll be 2nd and 2. Trips receivers left side, single receiver right. Give to Gant. Gant left side, not much. That's Plant, excuse me.
And you'll see those two alternate. And the one thing that makes them dangerous is if you don't get them down, they can take it 60 yards. They're very fast. And they get upfield, they can really do damage to your defense.
Sansoni and Baylor coming up to make the tackle. There's Baylor again on the tackle with some help. Coming in to make that assist was Kyle Minica senior. A lot of seniors on this Central Dauphin team. They're going to lose a lot of guys defensively and offensively.
Yeah, but they always seem to have guys waiting in the wings. They're well coached. They have a very good program here at Central Dauphin, so they always have guys that are waiting in the wings. I mean, you think of Adam Burkhart, 2 years ago, you weren't thinking about him, and now look at what he's become on both sides of the ball.
Over 1,247 yards, 20 TDs. He had 3 last week against Manheim Township. So we know what he can do. It'll be 2nd and 10 ball on the 46. Kane Everson's last pass incomplete there. Twin receivers in a single to far right. Everson looking downfield. Want to air it out. Trying to chase it down with Chimente, and that'll be incomplete.
And I'll tell you, Tyrese Fuller, number 1 at cornerback, was in the right position. I mean, you figure as a corner, you want to make sure that you use the sideline and to protect you a little bit, and then get your head wrapped around, and you saw good coverage on that back end.
So we had flags. That's going to go against the Cougars. Legal man downfield. Okay. It'll be 3rd and 10. Penalty was declined. Everson went over to the sideline to get the play, so that's why you see the Cougars kind of standing there. He and the specialty players, the receivers, went over to get the play from the sideline. There you have it. Shotgun formation will come out with a bunch type set with 3 receivers left and a single receiver far right. Play action with the screen set up to the right side. Ball's going to go to Purdy. Purdy juking and jiving, and the ball comes out, and Central Dauphin will have the first turnover of the game.
And that was well defensed by Central Dauphin. You saw that initially you saw there was a lot of daylight, and when you defense on the screen, you have to be relentless of how you submerge on the screen. And you saw on that play the Central Dauphin defense submerged, they get a turnover.
Archie Smith Jr., do you like exactly how that play came out as far as defensively?
Well, you can see that the game is changing now, guys. They're calling these guys down, and the ground cannot cause fumble. Now, from my view, you can see him going down, and it looked like a clean pop-out. But from the camera view that our great job from our camera crew does, you can see the ball comes out after it hits the ground.
All right, good job by our Vicky crew. That'll be a punt. Low liner, going to take a roll. Boy, Clemente picked it up on a roll, crossed the 30-yard line and went out of bounds. I tell you, that's one of those tough punts to handle because sometimes it comes up on you, short hops you a little bit.
Yeah, but they're some of the better ones to get because they are a line drive. What ends up happening is the coverage doesn't get time to get down, and you basically outkick your coverage. But in that case, the Harrisburg defenders were right there, right on them. So, Clemente wasn't able to do too much with that.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 30 for Central Dauphin. Single receivers to the far right. Burkhart back behind Hoffman. They'll get to play from the sideline. Tonight, humidity 69%. Look at that, the temperature's 41. Actually, it's a beautiful night.
Oh, that's perfect football weather. For a fan, different story.
That's right. Hoffman's going to keep it himself. Take a hit and be dropped. And coming up to make the tackle, Jai Burney. And he had some help along the side. Elijah Scott also coming up to make the tackle.
Again, this defense is hard to move the ball on, and what makes them so difficult is how fast they swarm to the ball. They usually will put 5, 6, 7 hats around the ball at a time to get the ball carried down.
And Harold O'Neal also coming up to make the tackle. Burkhart's going to be put in motion. Kind of a jet sweep to Burkhart. Burkhart left side and wrestled down, and Andre White Jr. will come up to make that tackle. This game, this Central Dauphin Harrisburg game reminds me of a player that got his first start today for Penn State, Micah Parsons, is now leading Penn State in tackles. That doesn't surprise
That does not surprise me at all.
Hoffman on the 3rd and 1 got hit and didn't. I don't know if second effort. Hoffman's going to get it, I think. Archie, do you see the measurement? It's good. Looks like he's going to move. They're going to move the chains. Hoffman looked like he was dead in the grass.
It will be a first down, guys.
Now
they need this.
Here is something that you can take to the bank when you talk about these two teams. 17 athletes that are on the field right now made first team mid-Penn All-Stars, Commonwealth All-Stars, offense and defense.
That's impressive. Yeah.
From both of these teams. So that tells you what you have here with these teams.
I know Everson and Burkhart led the way in votes, but Jai Burney was on there on second team. A lot of guys that we see out there on the field. Jaden Baylor.
And it looks like it's going to be a penalty on Harrisburg. But yes, Kane Everson, Jameer Plant, Adam Burkhart, Dante Kent, Gabe Bollinger, Jeff Chisholm Wilkerson, Tony Patterson, Chad Layton. They all made first-team offense. Jeff Chisholm Wilkerson on defense. Jaden Baylor for Central Dauphin. Dante Nichols, Andre White, Adam Burkhart, Jai Burney, Elijah Scott, Ronell Gant, and Dante Kent made first team for defense.
Wow. Well, there was a penalty on Harrisburg. Ronell Gant, they're gonna call him for defensive pass interference, and that's going to give a first down at the 43 for Central Dauphin. 3 receivers split to the left. Burkhart is the back. Quick out to the left side. Burkhart's pass was completed to Lacier.
And again, the plan here for Central Dauphin is to get the ball out of Hoffman's hands very quickly.
Yeah.
You don't want to have him sitting back. We saw already with the 3 sacks that already has taken place in this game, you can't have him sitting back there. He doesn't have that kind of time. So you slow up that rush by getting the ball out very quickly on those swing routes.
Well, it's 2nd and 7. You see the first quarter, man, almost nearly gone. 1:13 to play. Hoffman looking right, going to keep it himself, try to run left side. Hoffman, who had 76 yards last week on the ground, he's feeling a little bit more healthy.
And again, you talked about his health. In the first game, he wasn't healthy in that game, so he's coming up now. You see him trying to run the ball. In this case, his first read was to throw the ball, and it was well defensed on the back end. So he tucks it and runs to try to get what he can get. Brings up a 3rd down and about 4.
That'll be third 3, 3rd and 4. Ball on the 36. 35 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Jet sweep, fakes that, left side, Hoffman, no, Harrisburg said, not this time. Coming up to make the tackle is Elijah Scott.
And we know Elijah Scott is one of those linebackers that can move very quickly, brings up 4th down, no gain. Let's see what this defense can do. They've held, and that's probably the hardest thing to be able to do is to get outside on Harrisburg because of how quick they submerge on the ball. So, again, it brings up a key 4th down for Central Dauphin trying to get this going, and there's the end of the quarter.
Well, after a quarter, Harrisburg nothing, Central Dauphin nothing. We'll have a lot more football coming back after these messages.
My father years ago told me, own your own business. That was my inspiration. And February 1st of 1996, we opened up as Capital Region Insurance Agency.
Throughout my entire life, seeing my dad how successful he was and learning the way he was actually able to communicate with people and help them, whatever their needs may be, it made me want to get more involved. I'm most proud of helping continue my dad's legacy, helping the surrounding communities, businesses, and families.
We try to wow our customers, let them know that we are here for them. If they can't get into our office, we would take the time and go visit them. This really differentiates ourselves from the 1-800 who do you get? Whether it's financial services, auto, home, life, commercial, we hold their hands, bring them through the process. We let them understand that we know what we're doing and they feel comfortable when they leave here.
I think it makes it more personal and more family-oriented, definitely more of a friendly environment.
What I'm most proud of is the hard work, and it's enabled me to ensure clients, to provide protection for them, to let them sleep well at night.
Well, welcome back. Got some happy fans there, excited to come see the Cougars and Central Dauphin play in the District 6A Championship here from Landis Field. It'll be a 4th and 3. And Hoffman and the crew is going to go for it. Pitch to Burkhart back Flea flicker back down the sideline will be incomplete, and now they're going to call pass interference. It looks like it's going to go against Dante Kent. The intended receiver was Kyle Minnick.
And I actually thought Dante got his head turned around right at the last minute. So they're going to call face guarding, which is a penalty typically. But it looked like Dante Kent from corner position turned his head right at the right time and was able to break that up. And it's going to be called.
Hey, Archie Smith, let's go down to you in the field here. We had talked about some trickery that might happen here tonight. And that one was right there, the old flea flicker.
I thought it was a great call. You had Central Dauphin overload the line, thinking that you was going to give it to Adam Burkhart, their horse, and then they sneak the tight ends down the sideline. And I'm with Jerome. I kind of thought that he did turn his head back and was able to make a play on the ball.
Oh, Archie, that was even worse than we thought. When we saw the replay, not only did he get his head around, he didn't initiate the contact at all. The receiver did.
Yeah, it was a tough call that went against Harrisburg. Burkhart now going to push forward, and he's going to be wrestled down by Andre White Jr., and he had some help with his Cougar buddies. One more chance to take a look at it here on the flea flicker. Hoffman back here. Ball's going up. You'll see contact right here in a split second. More importantly, yeah, all over his back was the receiver.
Well, that call is coming from the back jug who is trailing that play. And when in doubt, these referees are taught, when you're in doubt, throw the flag.
2nd and 7, standing straight up is Burkhart. He's going to keep fighting. No whistle yet. Just now got it. Andre White coming up now. He's bit fired up tonight, too. He's playing, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. And you saw you're talking about two Goliaths meeting at one time, and Adam on one side, Burkhart, and you see Andre White on the other. They clash, and it's a stalemate.
It's 3rd and 7. There's just something about football right before Thanksgiving. It's cold. There's snow on the ground here in central Pennsylvania. This has got all that, I don't know, tonight. It was special right when we knew we were getting this call.
And two teams that have already played each other. And like you said, they know each other. And Archie called it. Doing something different that you didn't do the first game, and you saw that what C did.
Pass is complete to Lesher. Tyler Lesher, he's a senior. He's 173 pounds at 5'11". The ball caught there. And it's going to be 4th down. You'll see Hoffman wanted to get it out quicker. And Jai Burney there to meet him. And he held on enough to get some help by Plant coming up to make the tackle there.
He is a good linebacker. I mean, for him to be, he's very, very stout, as a linebacker. And when he makes the tackle, guys go down.
4th and 4. Ball on the 15. Hoffman looking the sidelines. Play action with time. Hoffman over the top and overthrew Chimente. He had him and threw it into double coverage.
Yeah, he ran out of space. There wasn't enough space back there.
Maybe
that's
in
what
Canada.
You want. And exactly. In Canada, that works. But again, Harrisburg holds defensively. So now, brilliant play by Central Dauphin going with the flea flicker. Harrisburg didn't see that coming, was able to recover, got the penalty. Then all of a sudden they held. So again, these defenses are shining right now today.
Well, he was looking threes way the whole way. You know it. There was no doubt about it. All right, Harrisburg Cougars getting the hold, as you said. 9:47 to play here before half. 1st and 10. You see the Cougar fans looking on with excitement as well. Everybody knows the impact of this game and what it means to win a district championship and take it back to your school, especially when it's a Commonwealth matchup. This is another battle here in the trenches of Harrisburg, and there's going to be a flag that's going to go against Kane Everson's very frustrated. False start.
Well, again, the one thing, if you want to know one weakness or one area of concern that Harrisburg does have, is they do have a tendency to make a lot of mistakes. Penalties. Penalties that can kill a drive or not start one. So, again, so far already they've had 3 penalties today. So, again, they want to keep that down. Some of them are questionable, but they had them anyway.
Everson with time. The ball gets swatted down by Baylor. Man, Baylor. That's a grizzly bear.
I'll tell you what, man. He is playing some excellent football, and I'll tell you, I know he loves wrestling, but this kid has a future in football if he wants it. Because I'll tell you what, his size at 6'3", 308 pounds, and he is very hard to move, and he's active. When you see a tackle that's very active, light on his feet, and then able to just hold down the middle of that defense, good good-looking defensive tackle for CD.
Boy, he'd be on my recruiting list, no doubt about it.
Well, I
There's so many
imagine
guys
he's on
out
several.
here. Everson. Oh, down the sideline is Hope. Javon Hope. He's the speedster that they bring on sometimes in play situations like that, and they like to get him the ball out of bunches or out of bubbles, out of the trips formation. And look at that, they got him, and man, he had clear daylight.
And Chimente had a touchdown-saving tackle right here because this was gone. If he wouldn't have gotten hung on, if he wouldn't have had that, I don't see how that would have that wouldn't have been a touchdown.
So look at the third downs. Central Dolphins 1 for 5, and Harrisburg's 1 for 3 on third down.
And that pass was intended to Kent, and it was broken up by CD, so brings up a 2nd down and 10.
So the ball be on the 30-yard line. Trips receivers are right, single receivers, and Central Dolphins going to jump. And that's going to be Holton. Number 5, he jumps.
2nd down and 5 at the 35.
Second and 5, ball on the 35-yard line. Everson going to get the play from the sideline. He has trips receivers, and a far single receiver is Dante Kent in your screen. Looking downfield, firing it up. The ball will be knocked down. Great defensive play, Central Dauphin. And I mean, we haven't called his name. Malachi Bowman come up, the sophomore, 5'11", making a great play.
Yeah, these corners for Central Dauphin has definitely grown up as the year has gone on. They're playing a lot better football now, and that was just brilliant play. You come submerge on the receiver, and you get your hands up and get it at its highest point and knock it down, and that's what you saw about a young sophomore.
It'll be 3rd and 5. Everson's 4 for 8 for 44 yards so far. Taking his time getting the play. Everson looking downfield. Going to just overthrow his receiver. And that was Dante Kent.
And again, these defensive backs were up to the challenge. They know exactly what to do. And I'm not sure. It looks like between coach and quarterback, they may not have been on the same page for this. Maybe they didn't want this ball. But again, well defense by Central Dauphin. Again, they went to pick on the young corner, and he came up big, and that's Bowman again.
Clemente will back to receive the punt. Oh, they kick. They're right into the kick of Clemente. That return's probably going to be negated because the flag is down. We'll have to take a look at it again. Jerome, I don't know if it was a great acting.
He's running into the kicker.
They got away with it earlier. We'll wait to have the officials meet about it.
So that's a personal foul, roughing the kicker.
Yep, it's going to give Harrisburg the ball back.
And you definitely don't want to give Harrisburg chances. We get a good look at it right here.
In a sense, it just becomes it
Oh
becomes
yeah,
a turnover.
yeah, that looked rough.
Trevion Carey, the kicker,
Yep,
he's still down.
Yeah, you know, when you see it in fast motion, you didn't see what it looked like, but then seeing it just now, it did look pretty dangerous there, and that call is definitely justified.
Well, when a kicker has that leg up in the air and he's laid out like that, he can't defend himself
He's
at
exposed,
all. He's
yeah.
exposed completely. So
He's exposed.
you can tell that really hurts. We hope that young man's okay.
And again, but it's hard. I mean, and I know Archie has been you're on kick, punt, block. You're taught to go to where the ball, where you anticipate where the ball will be, not the man. And sometimes you're coming off, and sometimes you get blocked into them. Sometimes you just got to be disciplined enough to go to where the toe. We were taught to go to the toe, right to the toe, and further back to where the ball is going to be. And that way you get your hands on the ball without hitting it into the kicker.
Well, not only that, you also have to look at the down in the distance. Okay, if it's 4th and 13, we know we can't get there. If I cannot take it off his toe, I'm going to keep running, so I'm into a running stance to keep my momentum going.
Thanks, guys. Kane Everson will be dropped down.
And again, you're seeing the contained rush by this Central Dauphin team. They're not just tearing off trying to get to Kane Everson. They're coming controlled rush. Keep him in the pocket. You see him bring the ball down. He has nowhere to go. He sees white jerseys all over the place. He has to tuck it. Defense swarms. Good tackle by Holt, number 5.
Boy, I tell you what, you can tell these guys have been in the weight room. He's a physical kid getting after the quarterback there, number 5, Holton. Shotgun formation for Everson. Twin receivers right, twin left. Play action's going to roll left. Holton's going to try to chase him down, and Everson's going to be dropped. Coming up to make a beautiful play is Kyle Mennick. Mennick's a guy that you can't overlook this kid either, 43. No. I tell you what, he's all over the field.
Well, what you see from Central Dauphin is the linebackers. They always have solid linebacker play. Many of these guys are wrestlers, and they come up, and number 43, Mennick, he goes along, and along with Burkhart, they have Griffiths. They have guys that can play that position, and they just breed them. They just keep on coming through.
It'll be 3rd and 18, ball on the 42. With twin receivers far right, single receiver. Single receiver is Gant looking over to the play, Everson. Everybody standing up, and they're going to have to take a timeout. Harrisburg's going to take a timeout. Advanced Hoops is offering a middle school basketball league that helps any players who get cut from the 7th and 8th grade basketball teams. Also a chance for boys in the middle school to get an extra playing time and build some confidence. Go to advancedhoops.com to see more information and get registered. Players looking for shooting, dribbling, or private lessons with pros, go to advancedhoops.com. As a trusted local community bank, Mid-Penn Bank offers options for families including Simply Free Checking, a Young Savers account, and great rates on CDs and money markets, and an array of financing options including mortgages and home equity loans. Stop at a Mid-Penn Bank branch near you or visit midpennbank.com to learn more. Well, 7:37 to play here in the half. And Harrisburg will have the ball 3rd down and 18 on the 42-yard line. So far, a great defensive matchup. Both offensive struggling a bit to get things going. Everson back to pass, looking down the middle. The ball sails, and luckily it's not picked off. Look at the total yards here. Central Dauphin 38 and Harrisburg with 59 total yards.
And that's just telling you what the defenses are doing. And again, Central Dauphin's defense is held. I love the strategy of how they're attacking Kane Everson. They're really controlled in their rush. They're keeping him in the pocket. When he gets outside, they're swarming to him. And again, this is definitely a different flavor from what we saw the first game, but very similar in the sense that the first half there wasn't many points.
Right.
But so defensively it was there. But you see a different defense from what Central Dauphin did the first game and how they're containing him.
4th and 18, low kick. Want to get it off. It's going to take a roll. It's going to be a Harrisburg roll. It's going to roll to the 20-yard line. It'll be down at the 19. Harrisburg doing everything they can to try to help it, and it'll be down by Kevon Hope. 7:20 to play here.
Sports Live is proud to partner with Mazzetti and Sullivan, a provider of substance use and mental health counseling services for teens and adults at 4 convenient locations across central Pennsylvania since 1983. Visit them at mazzettiandsullivan.com or call 1-800-809-2925. Mazzetti and Sullivan. We listen, we help.
7:20, 1st down and 10. Hoffman will have the ball at his 20. Well, both teams looking at the sideline a lot here to get the play in, and they're taking their time getting that play in. There's no rush in this offense of either side right now. Hoffman going to try to keep it left side. Man, he's going to be hit and wrestled down.
Andre White. And he's having a monster game today.
He really is. He's come to play, Andre White Jr.
And again, he's a big reason why this defense is as stout as it is, because he mans that middle, and he does such a good job manning it. He's strong, he's hot in pursuit. You got Jai Burney sitting right next to him. Those two together just are really good players for this Harrisburg team. And Elijah Scott, he rounds out that linebacking core.
So 6:44 to play, 2nd and 11. Ball on the 19. They lost a yard. Hoffman going to Chimente on the right side, crossing the 30. And he'll move the chains. That'll be a first down for Central Dauphin.
And as you can see, that's what Central Dauphin wants to do. They want to get it into Chimente's hands as much as possible. And you see what he can do when he gets the ball. He gets it, turns upfield real quick, breaks the tackle, gets the first down.
And stay tuned for our halftime. We'll have our Jack Jimbabo halftime report. We'll have an interview with Tom Couch from Jack Jimbabo and our Capital Region halftime stats, our Mid-Penn Bank first half highlights. So don't go anywhere. Also, we'll have an interview with Dr. Bixer from OSS Health. All this at halftime, so don't go anywhere. 6:29, first down and 10. So it'll be second. And he didn't get a yard. He got back 4. He picked up 4, say. 6:16 to play here for the Rams. Anything positive right now, Jerome? I mean, first downs are tough to get.
They're tough to get. This Harrisburg defense is stout, man, and they're hard. Every yard is going to be hard to get. And it seems like both sides is the same way.
All of them are earned every single yard. Right side, Burkhart stood up by the whole left side, and Andre White came up there to meet him.
And one of the things you saw in that play is you see the hole open up real quick, and it's shut, slam shut. You see the hole, look at it, it's open, and then all of a sudden Andre White comes out and shuts the door.
And he even bounces, and I know why Burkhart did that. He took one step left thinking that hole is going to be even bigger that side, and it's shut down, it's closed, there's nothing there. Big old shift for the Rams here. Hoffman looking Schuler's side. And boy, look, come backside, who was our player of the game last time these two teams played. Deontay Nichols coming up to make the tackle.
I tell you, Nichols is exceptional. And what he gives Harrisburg from the outside, 6'1", 220 defensive end. He's a kid that, you can see him at the next level, maybe as an outside linebacker or a rush linebacker. Put on him, get a couple more pounds on this kid. He's going to be special at the next level. Again, just brilliant defense by this Harrisburg Cougar team.
So the Rams will have to punt. Ooh, coming on strong was Plant. High School Sports Live has finished the winter basketball and wrestling schedule. Go to www.hsslivetv.com to see the key matchups featuring Susquehanna boys versus Lower Dauphin, McDevitt versus Trinity boys, and a girls and guys doubleheader, Dallastown versus Red Lion. The schedule is awesome. Go today to hsslivetv.com to see the matchups. 4:33 to play here at Landisfield, District 6 championship. And I was hoping that we could see a rematch of that, 20-5. You remember last time we had them, it was September the 28th, and CD led 5-0 at half. Harrisburg went on to win that 20-5, shut out Central Dauphin in the second half. But tonight it's a different story.
But again, where it was 5-0 at half there, and it's 0-0 right now at 4:30. So the defenses shine there, and they're shining now. It's just that it's a different feel. It's a championship feel, Todd, and that's what you got. You got two teams that are coming in, and they know each other. We've talked about that. They know each other very well.
Standing at shotgun formation is Everson looking downfield, want to air it out, and it's going to be caught. The big pickup that he needed. Dante Kent, the receiver. Was he inbounds or out of bounds, Archie Smith? They said it's good.
That was one exceptional catch, guys. Man, but that was a great throw, but even better catch. And that was good coverage, too. So a perfect pass beats great coverage.
And that's exactly what it was. I mean, you saw Tyrese, Tyrese Fuller. He had very good coverage on the outside. He was right where he needed to be. Just an exceptional play.
Plant getting some enthusiasm now. The Cougar crowd, the home team tonight on the board. They are getting behind their Cougars as they feel some momentum shifting their way.
And one thing again, Jerome, Fuller is like 6'2", almost 6'3" corner.
Yep.
Plant right side, pushing, finding some yardage now, finding some some opening in that middle of that defense, and Elijah Vargas had to come up to make the tackle for Central Dauphin. So 3:56 to play, momentum shift for the Cougars.
And what makes Harrisburg so difficult to defend is you can bottle them up and then they can hit you with a big play. And it saps all the energy out of you. And that's what we saw on that big pass play.
Went left side. And Timmy Smith, the sophomore, is 5'11", coming up and made the tackle for the Rams. And actually on the rush, that was Dana Purdy. So it'll be a 2nd and 7 for Everson. Everson give it to Plant. Plant dodges one, and Burkhart pulls him down backside.
And that was just good pursuit by Burkhart at linebacker. And again, we talk about how good this defense is from Central Dauphin, and they get the big play scored on them, and then they tightened up. Right now, 3rd and 6.
Ball on the 18. Red zone opportunity for Everson and the Cougars. You'll have trip receivers left side, and there'll be a false start. That's a false start. That's going to move the Cougars back. And see there, Jerome, that's kind of what you talk to. They get that momentum, and then they make a mistake like that. And this is a crucial.
And at the time of the false start, you had Kane Everson was still giving out the plays to everyone. So it was hard to know why that false start would have taken place. He was just getting the information in, and he's making sure that everybody knows what it is, and then you get the false start.
So 2:47, 3rd down and 11. Everson time looking over the top. And boy, did he had Gant back left side there.
But again, Bowman is playing exceptional at that right cornerback position for Central Dauphin. He was in good position, made a play.
Take a look at it again.
And they're picking on the sophomore, and he's coming up big right now.
Well, he had to leave his feet for that. I tell you, he didn't get it. You got to be careful of Gant getting behind him, though. So it looks like Harrisburg's going to need a timeout to talk about this one. We'll take a break and be back with more after these messages.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Well, this game is for the gold here at Landis Field. That's Archie Smith, Jr. I tell you what, if there's anyone in the Mid-State that want to know any kind of fashion statements, you can just go to archiesmithjr.com, archiesmithjr.com, and the gold shoes. Arch, tell us a little bit about them, man.
Just when you have a magnitude game like this, guys, man, one thing I was looking up, I used to look up to Craig Sager, guys. I know a lot of you guys, you know, as a TV analyst, I mean, his fashion was everything, man. And as a kid, he just pushed the measures to the unlimited. And nobody ever stopped him. So I said, man, you know what, if I ever got a chance to do that, I'm going to take up what he does.
Well, Arch, you do it better than anyone. Kane Everson back to pass on 4th down and 11. Harrisburg decides to go for it, and no, he's not going to get out. The ball's out. That was a fumble. And man, oh man, I tell you what, Holton came with full pressure. He had, you know, Kane's normally a guy that's invasive, that gets away from that. But tonight, I tell you, Central Dauphin's got a plan for that. And you talked about that.
Yeah, you know, when you have a guy that's that elusive at the quarterback position, you have to try to contain him. You want to keep him in the pocket as much as possible. And you see the outside, they're keeping contained, and then they force Kane into where the defenders are, into where your help is. And I just like the way that they're doing this. They're not coming up the field just tearing off. They're keeping contained, keeping everything inside, and then submerging on Kane Everson.
It was Elijah Vargas who hit him too as well. He's a junior, so they'll have him back next year. Left side, nothing there for Leiser.
Jai Burney.
Jai Burney, number 4. It's like he knew we were talking about it.
Right on cue, and again, Jai Burney, 5'7", 210, stout. hard to block, hard to find, and when he meets you in the hole, you go down. And I think that's the big thing about him at linebacker. With him alongside Andre White, those two in the middle, they are very hard to get away from.
Well, he made my all-steel mill team, too. You know, that number 4. I've always loved Jai Burney. Big fan of that kid. So Clemente, right side. Picking up about 3-4, call it. It looked like Dante Kent was on the tackle, along with Jai Burney and a couple other Cougars. 1:27 to play here before half.
And for the season, Jai Burney has 86 tackles right now, 11 tackles for loss. So that lets you know how active he's been, and that's alongside Andre White.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you're alongside a guy that's that talented and you're still putting up those kind of numbers, that lets you know what kind of linebacker duo they have.
3rd down and 6. Hoffman in shotgun formation. Hoffman going to keep it himself, going to cross, pick up the first down and push forward. And coming up to make the tackle was Harold O'Neal, the junior, the 5'11", 185-pound Cougar. 52 seconds and counting. And Central Dauphin has all 3 of their timeouts. Harrisburg has 1 here. Let's see how they play this out.
And you're seeing what they want to do with Hoffman. Hoffman is taking the ball, getting north-south as fast as he can to pick up that first down.
45 and under. Hoffman designed just to run it. There's going to be a flag down. And boy, did Hoffman take a hit from Andre White. Whew. That's going to go against the offense, so the holding. So it's going to move it back to the 41-yard line for Central Dauphin. They'll have the ball 34 seconds. So the Rams are going to look over the sideline and look at the play. 1st and 24 from the 41. Clock's now started, should be. Jet sweep left side. And man, stood straight up was Glacier.
And Nichols just shut that down again. And you see him coming from the backside. Jai Burney's there. Nichols just comes, wraps him up. Defense holds again. I mean, this defense is just so fast. They're hard to move. They fill the gaps so well. And again, we have a 0-0 halftime. A team like Harrisburg, who averages 40.58 points a game, is at 0 points. Central Dauphin, who averages 28 points a game, 0 points. That's what tells you the defenses and what they're doing.
Well, we'll be, stay tuned. We'll have our interview with Dr. Bixler from OSS Health. Grace Real sit down with him, and then we'll have our halftime show right after that.
Hey everyone, I'm here with Dr. Bixler, and we are talking about athlete recovery today. Now you say, you know, sugar is one of the things to stay away from when it comes to recovery. What is something else, the main thing that athletes can do for recovery?
The main thing high school kids can do to recover well is sleep. And it's the one thing that they are severely deficient of. A high school athlete needs a minimum of 9 hours of sleep, believe it or not. Worse, if they are stressed by workload, athletic performance, and other social situations. If they are not sleeping well, they are not recovering, and all the activities they are doing to try and get better are just not helping them.
So we've talked about recovery. Another thing that you get asked by parents of athletes is how do they stay out of your office? So what do you tell those parents?
I would say the number one thing for a high school and middle school athlete to do to stay out of my office is strength training. I think we start off by playing sport in the United States without actually preparing to do sports. So kids love to do the sports. They don't want to do spend the time training. And I think strength training, old-fashioned squats, deadlifts, cleans with first of all, learning technique with a supervised strength coach is the number one thing you can do to learn to do and then do repeatedly and stay out of my office.
All right, thank you, Dr. Bixler. For more information on injury prevention, go to osshealth.com.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Just what you're looking for, Hoffman has it.
And at HoffmanFord.com, they make it easy to find the new or used Ford you've been looking for. Search nearly 500 new and used vehicles right at your fingertips. And when you find one you like, you can even get pre-approved by applying online. Plus, you can chat live or text a real person to answer any questions you may have. Start your shopping at HoffmanFord.com. They make it easy to get into a new or used Ford today.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for, Hoffman has it.
Today's Advanced Hoops tip will feature Gerald Jarman, former Division I point guard from the University of Richmond.
The figure 8 cone dribbling drill is a great drill to teach players how to cross over right and left as they go around the cones in a figure 8 pattern. This also teaches a player to hook the ball right and left as they go around the cone. These skills in a game speed motion will help a player develop control and speed in the open court. The most effective way to execute this drill is to time them in 30-second intervals so they push themselves at a fast pace. This is a key drill I teach my players in my class.
Welcome back to our Jack Giambavo halftime report. Todd McCall, Jerome Presley, Archie Smith Jr. Score Central Dauphin nothing, Harrisburg nothing here from Landis Field. It's everything we've been expecting, guys. Archie, it's been a defensive battle from the get-go. We knew kind of to expect that, but just impressed with the effort to the ball on both sides of the Central Dauphin and Harrisburg.
Well, it's been some adjustment that Central Dauphin has been made as I've been down there and I've been taking notes on. And one thing I haven't seen is Burkhart is not playing the middle linebacker. He is more on the outside now. And they have Huffman on the inside. So if you can see that, guys, that means I'm going to put my best tackler and my best IQ guy on the outside to be able to come down and contain a scrambling quarterback like Everson. And I think that Central Dauphin is giving them a little different things and confusing him over in there. He's making some passes, but he's also missing some off of some key reads that he's making pre-snap, and that after the snap, that read is gone. So I'm liking what Central Dauphin is causing and over there, and we know what Harrisburg defense is doing with Central Dauphin's offense. But Central Dauphin is coming out and trying to overpower them, and I think they're going to stay with what they're doing, and they might get rid of the bus one here coming up in the second half, guys. What do you think?
Well, we saw Kane Everson a couple times having some receivers just kind of overthrew them.
Right.
But you liked what you saw both sides of the field, well, in particular from Central Dauphin in the corner spot. But Kane Everson does have an arm, and he's one of those guys, he'll get a big one on you when you're not watching.
Kane can throw the ball, and we've seen it, and he was able to get deep. And I think that's what you're going to see from Harrisburg. They're going to still try to take their shots deep. Defensively, Harrisburg continues to do one thing. They play downhill defense. Everyone is converging on the ball carrier. It's very rare that you see one tackler make a tackle. They're gang tackling, and they come like a swarm. And that's what they did in the first game. That's what they did all season. They're not changing that. So they're going to force Central Dauphin to methodically take the ball downfield and try to score. Now, here's where I think Central Dauphin should try to go, and I've said this before: take shots downfield. Right. You got to try to take shots downfield against this team because they haven't been tested downfield a lot. Now, they do it on the back end. They're very talented back there as far as their corners are concerned. But if you don't take them, take those shots, they're going to be 7 in the box all day, and they're stopping Burkhart. They're not letting you run the ball, so they're putting 7 in the box. So you got to get them off of that by taking those shots downfield.
Let's take an opportunity now to look inside our Capital Region Insurance halftime preview here a little bit just on some of our Mid-Penn Bank highlights. Right here, play action. Look like that might be a good thing, but look at the swarming defense from the Cougars.
But you got to run the ball in order to have play action. You have to be an effective running the ball.
And you look on the other side, Kane Everson's had one big play, really. Hit one receiver for 20-plus yards. But this one here was an opportunity for a break, a long break. But look at Clemente coming up to make it a game-saving touchdown tackle right there. But then Everson being swarmed all night. And, Archie, you mentioned this. They're staying home. They're doing some great things. The game plans, anytime you play each other a second time around, this is what happens. Defensive really, that guy there, Dante, is just – been a player 21 tonight.
As you can see, this right here was a double move, a kind of like a stop and go, and I think that what Harrisburg is going to try to come back out and attack outside with a lot of hitch routes and then hitch and goes, but also as well, we're going to see Central Dauphin come up with some play action.
when you look at total yards, I mean, 100 for Harrisburg, 73 for Central Dauphin. Rushing yard, 21-45. That's been a stalemate. I mean, that's just been a chess match. The defense have really come there. 4 penalties for Harrisburg for 40, 3 for 34. First downs have been tough to get, 11 total tonight.
Yeah, and what you're seeing is that the stats tell the story of the game, basically. I mean, 173 yards of total offense between two teams. And that tells you have probably the number 1 and number 2 defenses in the Commonwealth and maybe even in the mid-state as a whole. I mean, these are very good defensive programs.
Well, we're going to take a break, and then coming right back, we'll have Tom Couch with Jack Giovanni here at halftime. So we'll be right back after this message.
I am anything I want to be.
I am one of the faces of Commonwealth Charter Academy.
I go to school online, tuition free.
I learn best at my own pace.
My own pace.
I see school differently. I learn from anywhere.
From anywhere. I'm an artist.
I'm a musician.
I am an athlete. I am anything I want to be. And I won't stop learning. I am CCA.
Join me today at ccaeducate.me.
Hit the road with Jack.
Hit the road with the Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 8 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick, GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, and Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. A Giambalvo family dealership. Over $20 million in new and pre-owned inventory with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family's been a part of your community for decades. Hit the road with Jack and find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at giambalvo.com.
At Pizza Hut, our original pan dough rises fresh every day, making it crispy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. And now you can get our original pan as part of the $6.99 any deal. That's 2 medium pizzas with any toppings, any crust, any specialty for just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently, we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Call Logan or Warren Stumpf at Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rental, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your projects from start to finish. With 11 locations, Groff Tractor is always close by your equipment needs. Groff also offers 24/7 field service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Well, welcome back to Landis Field. I'm standing by with Charlie Fortney, Director of High School Sports Live. Charlie, I mean, it's 10 years. I remember when you started talking about, you know, broadcasting sports and bringing high school football and bringing wrestling and basketball. One of the things you said is we're going to try it, but we can't do it without a lot of people, a lot of behind scenes, and a lot of help from so many sponsors. And I know really for us to be able to pull this off night in, night out on Friday nights, and even going into the winter season, you can't do it without some great people and those sponsors. I know you got a big thank you and a big heart.
The businesses, a lot of these guys and the businesses are not only businesses and community supporters, but they're real people that care about kids, and we will take some time to go over that. Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, Brian Hudson, Scott Elliott, and that crew, amazing year after year, leading the way, along with Jack Giambalvo. Tremendous support. They do a lot of online sales up in the Harrisburg area, and they're a big presence in the York area. They're our halftime report. Then we also have Huffman Ford. It's the great feature player of the game. Earl Huffman, I know he's sitting at home watching these games, and Ryan and Todd over there. They just do such a great thing for the Central Dauphin community. I'm so glad that this is at CD for that reason. And Heather Haggard and the ladies, Connie over at Pizza Hut, play of the game, every game, sponsoring that for us, and there was a great play right there. So Pizza Hut does a great job for us, and we enjoy the pizza at halftime.
That's right.
And then Brian Bixler, OSS Health, just educating the community on just tips for families. Scott Singer and those guys over there, Angie Hartman, just a great crew at OSS Health. They're experts in what they do, and on our post game. with Giant. But Giant also, you'll see at the end of this game, you'll see a great feature where us inside the food bank with Giant, and Giant supports the food bank. We're going to do a lot with that even this winter. Commonwealth Charter Academy, Max Fleury, Tom Longnecker and those guys, Commonwealth Charter, they've grown and they've served a lot of families who need an education in that way. Mid-Penn Bank student section was a hit this year. Heather and Roy Retrieve and that crew, Brittany, congratulations to them for just doing such a good job expanding in the area. Mike Savastio and Groff Tractor, they're sports people over there. Oh, man, that thing flashes on the screen. It's a great recognition for them, but it's also we're appreciative that they give us the support we need. And Capital Region Insurance Agency, Warren Stumpf and that crew. What a game in and game out. There's Logan and Warren right there on the riverfront, and we're doing a great campaign this winter for those guys on a no texting and driving campaign, and I can't wait to do that with those guys. And then Ice Cream Heaven. Stop by, if you want. It's a sponsor for just the district championships. If you want a free hot chocolate, buy a Christmas tree and 60 flavors of ice cream right in the community here on Dairy Street, Ice Cream Heaven. I know you mentioned that earlier in one of the reads, but that'd be a great thing to do over the holidays with your family. And we can't do it without this kind of support. Dauphin County commissioners support us, and just, the people that come up to us, a lot of the senior citizens especially, that we bring high school sports, and guys like you, Todd, you volunteer, yeah, right, volunteer your time now, and Archie and Todd, they just comment about how great a job you guys do, how professional you are. So we're going to talk more about our sponsors as we get into the winter, but thank you to all of our sponsors, and even the ones that we haven't had a chance to spend a lot of time with. We'll be talking more about them later.
Charlie Fortney, Director of High School Sports Live. We'll be coming back with an interview with Tom Couch right after these messages.
Do you want to answer that?
Nah, I'd never with a kid in the car.
It's okay. I'm not here. I'm there.
Under a new state law, all electronics must be recycled.
Welcome to the Dauphin County Recycling Center, where recycling is quick, easy, and free.
You may recycle appliances or even cell phones.
We're open 6 days a week, and recycling is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Contact our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or visit our website for more information.
Help us protect our planet, because tomorrow does matter.
Back to our halftime report, and with no stranger to the Central Pennsylvania football and Penn State football, Tom Couch, guard on the 1982 Penn State football team. But more importantly, down in York, and what you do in Jack Giambavo, we really appreciate the sponsorship. And I know you guys got a lot of great things going on in Jack Giambavo.
Yeah, I mean, it's been there for over 45 years in the community, and it's a fabric of it. And when you talk a small town, everybody knows everybody. We just have generations and generations of people that keep buying from us, and we just, we always take that, never take that for granted. And so we just always want to, when you pull from a community, you want to give back. And so that's kind of our motto.
Tom, football is also just kind of hand in hand with what you guys been doing with Jack Giambavo. It's been our 10 years that we've been able to do this, and we can't do it without you. But I like the commitment to football and sports in the area, and in particular with the 1982 team we were talking about, you playing at Penn State, but you also lend your hand over there on the East Penn side, and you're wearing your colors tonight and the Panther hat. Another great season by East Penn, and I mean, it's been a tradition of football that starts over there on the West Shore now, and I mean, talk a little bit about just getting an opportunity to coach with the youth in Central PA.
Now, it started about 12 years ago when I was able to have a position in my career where I could give the time, because as all these coaches will tell you, it's not a 3-hour-a-day job, so it takes a lot of time and commitment. But once you start and it gets in your DNA and you get going and around the kids and seeing the impact that you can make in young people's lives, and frankly what the sport of football does, it's the ultimate team sport. So when you talk about helping kids prepare themselves for a good life, being good family, being good in the community. It's a great sport that really segues into what it takes to be a success in your private life.
That's right.
So I think that's where most of us as coaches really keeps us going, is just seeing the impact you can make in the young person's life.
Tom, if you pull anything away from 1982, and as we were talking just a commercial break, it really does seem like yesterday that national championship was being won, and it's still a memory etched in all of our brains. But you take one big memory away from that, what could you share with Central Pennsylvania on 1982 in that moment?
Well, there was a lot of great memories from the season. I mean, we won some huge games. Most people didn't realize that we had the toughest ranked schedule in the country that year and still won the national championship. We were an independent back then, so we had on our schedule Alabama, Notre Dame, Pitt, West Virginia, and we played Boston College, Maryland, and those weren't gimmies, none of them. No. They were all in their heyday at that time. They all had great quarterbacks, Doug Flutie, Boomer Esiason, Dan Marino. Mm-hmm. So literally when you're playing, looking back on it now 30-some years later, and you see the caliber of people you competed with and against, we had Kurt Warner, Todd Blackledge. I mean, we had a lot of good players ourselves, but it was a sweet time in college football. And then to be able to get lucky enough and get the ball bounce our way a few times and win the championship. And in the Sugar Bowl, we played Georgia. They had Herschel Walker. Yep. So literally that year, there were no gimmies. So then to win it and then also play the toughest schedule in the country, it just was a cherry on top.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Tom, we really appreciate everything you've done from Jack Giambombo, and also just taking an opportunity to talk a little football and take a walk down memories past there a little bit. And we want to wish you the best in your career over there helping out at East Pennsboro, and we'll wish you a good season next year. I know we'll have you guys at least once or more, who knows. And Tom, thanks for stepping by here at halftime. Central Dauphin, Tom, nothing. Harrisburg, nothing. It's just been a battle in the trenches, has it not?
I tell you, and there's a saying that's size hurts and speed kills, so I'm waiting to see what happens with that, see if that still lives true or not.
That's right. So. Tom Couch, 1982 national champion winner, and been working hard down at Jack Giambombo. We appreciate all the effort that they've made for us. And we've got our second half coming up here shortly, right after this.
I can really buy local produce at Giant?
Yep, brought it in from our backyard. Well, not my backyard, but close.
Sweet. Find out about our backyard at giantfoodstores.com/local. Giant, the official grocery store of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Welcome back to Landis Field. Third quarter action here coming up. Nothing stalemate, but don't go anywhere because exciting things begin to happen here in the second half. Last time we had this game on the 28th, one of the things we noted, it was 5-0 at half, and the Rams were up 5-0, and Harrisburg came back with 20 unanswered points. And Harrisburg will have the ball here to start the second half, and a nice kick will back up.
Wow.
It went out at the 1-yard line, so Harrisburg will be backed up on their first start.
Yeah, that's a big mistake right there to start the game for Harrisburg. And now it pins this Cougar offense back significantly, dropping the ball. It goes out at the 1. Matter of fact, it's within the 1-yard line. It's not even the 1. It's inside the 1.
It's inside the 1. Kayvon Hope picked it up. Hey, we've got other scores from today. Bishop McDevitt 40, Conrad Weiser 16, Cocalico 61, York High 35, Berks Catholic 49 over Milton Hershey 49-21. And other playoff games today, we had all these crazy rescheduled games, and PIAA did a great job to finally get them all ironed out. But when that snow hit, and it backed traffic up, and it stopped Friday night games. So here we are, Saturday night District 6 Championship, 6A, District 3, in right side is Jameer Plant.
And again, gives a little bit of breathing room for this Harrisburg team. And one of the things that I would want to see from Harrisburg a little more is running the ball.
Right.
Being more committed to the run, because I think that they have had some moderate success running the ball.
Everson looking, scrambling around, and he'll be dropped on the right side.
Yeah, right now, anything that has to do with Kane Everson running the ball himself, they have that pretty much bottled up. And if Archie is saying is correct, where they're moving Burkhart around a little more, it may leave more seams inside. So why not run Gant or plan inside more to see if you can get some yards that way?
So it'll be 3rd and 6. The ball on the 5-yard line. Everson to Plant. Plant getting some room, crossing the 10-yard line.
And I think that'll be just short of the first down, brings up 4th down and 1. So, again, a little bit of yard. I actually thought he got it initially, but it looks like he's short.
Yeah, he's inches short, really.
And you play field position at this point. If you're Central Dauphin, you play field position and you pin them back again and see, now you may get a good return and you get good field position right here on offense.
That punt really went Central Dauphin's way. Kane Everson back to punt. Clemente back to receive. And it's going to take a bounce and roll to the 50, across the 50 to the 43-yard line.
So it took a Harrisburg roll, which they needed. It wasn't a great punt, but because of the fact that it took that roll, made things a little bit easier for Harrisburg, but still decent field position for Central Dauphin.
So 10 minutes to play, 1st down and 10. Ball in the 47. With a 46-yard punt. Hoffman going to look over to the sideline, going to grab that play. Hoffman rolling right, looking downfield. Pass is complete, or did he bobble it? Are they calling it catch? They're calling it incomplete. It was incomplete. Intended receiver was Leister, Tyler. And I don't know, he bobbled it going out of bounds with it.
Yeah, Tyler Leister, if he would have caught this on the initial, this was definitely a catch, and then he bobbled it and then stepped out of bounds. So he didn't have possession. So that's a good call by the official.
It'll be 2nd and 10, 9:54. Hoffman again looking over the right side. They'll put Burkhart in motion. Jet sweep, Burkhart. Right side. Probably one of his better runs there, but he'll be wrestled down, tackled by Andre White Jr. of Harrisburg.
And again, you see him coming in motion, and once he gets the ball, he's not continuing to the outside or the other side. He gets it and turns up, because that's where the hole is, right within the middle of the defense. And you see the defense closes down pretty good. And he's following number 37, Fickett, a fullback. So you see him taking the ball and then going straight upfield north-south where that hole is right on the right side.
And Burkhart in motion. Looking downfield is Hoffman. And that pass will be picked off. No, it almost picked off.
And that should have been picked if you think about it, and that was Plant. He was back at free safety back there, had the ball right in his hands, wasn't able to bring it in for the interception. Brings up a 4th down now.
Oh, Plant had it. Yeah, you're right.
It almost he let it go into his face mask and then never really got possession of it at that point.
That'll bring up a punt for Central Dauphin. Minnick will get a decent kick to roll across the 20.
And you have to come up and field that. I know, Archie, we talked about that. Call it a fair catch and go get it. I mean, that right there, you lost 10 yards by not coming up and getting that ball. And just call it a fair catch and come get it.
Also, the rules from every punt returner. If you're back deep, you put your heels on the 10-yard line. Yep. Anything that's over, you let it go. If it's in front, you make sure you make the catch.
Mr. Parsons, Micah Parsons, his son, playing at Penn State, got his first start today against Rutgers, and Micah leading the Penn State football team in tackles. That was good to hear.
Yeah, he's definitely having a really good season. And again, his talent's there. He has to get used to the nuances of playing the linebacker position, and he's still learning as well as a freshman, but he's playing really good football.
Pass complete to Hope.
Everson's pass was complete to Hope. He'll pick up a couple. And you see Bookart pushing out right there, so he'll pick up, call it 2.
And again, yards are hard to come by for this Harrisburg Cougar offense. They're not able to really get anything going until now.
Everson to Plant across the 25. And that was a great call at a great time for Harrisburg Cougar.
And again, getting the ball into your playmakers' hands. Run the ball a little bit more with Gann and Plant. Let them get into a rhythm. And as you can see, the short passes, those are the things that will open up those big gains downfield by having those corners and safeties sucking up more, and then you can go behind them.
Right side was Plant.
Plant on the carry this time.
You look inside Plant's numbers, I mean, this kid has had 651 yards rushing and 10 TDs. I mean, again, he's playing behind Kane, who keeps him a lot, but 650 yards and 10 TDs is not bad for his senior season.
And Sansoni on a defensive end spot, he comes up and makes a good play.
Well, Kyle Minnick come up to make the tackle, and that was Purdy on the carry.
And this is what I wanted to see from Harrisburg. Run the ball. I mean, you have the ability to run the ball. Will you get 20 yards every time you run it? Not necessarily, but getting those first downs, that's what's important.
Everson, going to keep it himself.
Everson keeps on the repass option.
And he took a hit on that sideline, that far sideline.
And again, I think Central Dauphin is dialed in when it comes to Kane Everson running the ball. They are dialed in to defending him. So right now, just keeping that contain outside and then making the play. And you're seeing good defensive strategy on him. So that's why I'm thinking if you're over pursuing the outside to keep contained, then run it up between the tackles. That's there.
And Smith came up to make that tackle. Everson looking for the screen. Got Plant. Plant who has 11 carries and 50 yards tonight.
And there wasn't enough blocking there. I mean, again, CD is everything outside. They're able to turn it inside. And you may have to soften that up a little bit before you can go back to it. Not saying abandon it, but right now you got to go with what the defense gives you. And right now, Central Dauphin is really playing well on the flanks when it comes to defending the run and defending those screen plays.
So it'll be 3rd and 9, 7-12. Play here in the third quarter. Play action, looking to screen on the left side. Plant's going to get it with some blockers. Going to come across, all the way across the field, across the 40. And be taken shy of the 50. And he got the first down for Harrisburg, and that was a big pickup by Jameer Plant.
Definitely, and Archie, you can speak to this. You talked about it early. What I see Central Dauphin doing is those outside linebackers are overplaying the flanks, where they're leaving one middle linebacker in the middle, and they're overplaying the flanks.
It's one thing that we've known, Coach. And if you have an over-aggressive team, and how you counter an over-aggressive team is with the screens. And back-to-back screen plays is great calls by Harrisburg.
2nd and 1. Purdy on that last carry. Trips receivers to the left. Everson's going to pitch it quick to the speedy Kayvon Hope.
Wow, that was a good play right there.
And Hope is the guy that, like you said, they'll mix him into the match a little bit.
I mean, Hope is blazing. He's blazing. When you talk about fast, he may be the fastest of all of them on the field for Harrisburg. So you get the ball into his hands, he gets north-south very fast.
Big play for Harrisburg. 6:15 to play here. 1st down and 10 at the 29. Everson, looking to pass. Going to hook up with Gant. Gant down the sideline, crossing the 20, be knocked out around the 15-yard line in a red zone opportunity for the Cougars.
And this is probably the best rhythm I've seen from Harrisburg. They're mixing it in. They're doing different things. They're doing the screen game. But they were creative in the screen game, which made it successful. They're running the ball. They're passing the ball. They're doing wheel routes. They're doing a lot of things right now, throwing at this defense to make them think.
Plant. Trying to be patient, waiting for the hole, and be wrestled down, coming up to make the tackle, Kyle Minnick. And along with Baylor on the tackle as well. Schuler helping. 5:48 to play, 2nd and 8. An opportunity here for the Cougars. They know how important it's to get something on the board. And it's going to be a Harrisburg Cougar timeout. They're going to need to talk about it. Advanced Hoops is offering a middle school basketball league that helps any players who get cut from the 7th and 8th grade basketball teams. Also a chance for boys in the middle school to get an extra playing time and build some confidence. Go to advancedhoops.com to see more information and get registered. Players looking for shooting, dribbling, or private lessons with pros, go to advancedhoops.com. SportsRecruiters.com announces that Penn State University football coach James Franklin will be the keynote speaker at the 9th annual Mr. Pennsylvania High School Football Awards on Saturday, February 16, 2019 at 5:30 at the Best Western Premier in Harrisburg. Tickets are available now at www.mrpafootball. So it'll be 2nd and 8. The Harrisburg Cougars want to talk about it. They'll have the ball on the 15-yard line with 5:29 to play. And we were just talking about how even one score, how big one score now would be for either team.
Any score.
Side.
Any score, too. I mean, it could be 3.
Exactly.
At this point, any score is big. I mean, that can win you the game.
And you might even look at when Central Dauphin had the ball in the red zone, that maybe a field goal might have been,
right. But this, I will say, has been the most impressive drive that Harrisburg has had. They've sustained drive. They've gotten into a rhythm offensively, and now the whole playbook is open. You see a lot of things happening right now for Harrisburg.
It'll be 2nd and 8. Give to Plant. Plant. Big old hole up the middle. Plant up the middle. And he's in for a touchdown, and the Cougars are on the board here with 5:23 to play in the third quarter.
That's where they need to attack, is that middle, right up the middle, running the ball. When Central Dauphin is overplaying the flanks, you run the ball right up the middle. You see Plant takes one step and gets downhill and gets into the end zone for Harrisburg.
That's a good call, Jerome.
And Archie, that middle was open, and Jerome did call it like he saw it, and that is there was something there, a little softened in the middle, and that's where Harrisburg took advantage with Plant.
We got our 71 tackle guys playing more on the outside, and they have been containing that outside. And like Jerome said, man, let's start seeing these small backs start getting up in the gut, and that's what they did.
Iverson going to go for 2. He's going to roll out to his right side. Look to pump fake it. Did he get the ball over? They said yes, and it's a 2-point conversion. Harrisburg on the board, 8-0.
Now, Todd, that's huge. Getting 2 for that, and I think he reached over right before he got there. I'll tell you what, that was big.
We'll be right back with more after this message. Harrisburg 8, Central Dauphin 0.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently, we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Call Logan or Warren Stumpf at Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Let's take a look at our last drive by Harrisburg. It started with a screen to the left side, and you'll see Plant take it.
But look where the screen ended up. It didn't go to the outside. It ended up coming the whole way back inside. So when they try to go outside with the screen, it didn't go well. Then they do this option play.
Just a nice mix, and then Plant up the middle for 15 yards out. He has 15 carries for 83 yards. Plant up the middle. That was a beautiful play. 12 plays, 95 yards, and chewed up about 3 minutes and 27 seconds.
Yep.
They came out second half here. You knew something's going to break. They
Well,
found an opening and
right.
softened up the middle.
And what happens is the coaches go into the locker room and they talk to their players about what they're seeing out there, and then they make adjustments.
Wow, stand-up job on the special teams.
And
Tyler Leisure just didn't have anywhere to go.
And that was Andre White on kick coverage. Your star linebacker on kick coverage going down and making a play and energizing and igniting your defense.
Guys, and that's a great thing because right now his mind is in Saturday mode because that's exactly where he's going to start off like Michael Parsons did on the kickoff team.
Yep, you start off on kickoff, teams start making plays. Next thing you know, defensive coaches start talking. Next thing you know, you got 3-4 plays, you're coming in, and then you're starting.
Yep.
And that's been the progression. That was how Michael Parsons did it. And I believe Andre White will be doing the same thing at the other level as well. Hoffman going to keep it himself right side. He'll pick up maybe 2. Give him 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
And again, every yard is hard yard. Every yard's a hard yard for both teams. But we saw, that Central Dauphin, your defense was on the field a lot.
Right.
Now you want your offense to sustain a drive because you don't want to put that defense right back out there again. You need some time. You need time to adjust, and you need time for guys to get a little rest. If this is a 3 and out, that's going to be huge going against Central Dauphin for them to put that defense back out there after that long drive.
Hoffman's going to send Burkhardt in motion. High snap. Hoffman's going to have to control it. Burkhardt blocking. Hoffman pushing, shoving in. Will he get it? He's going to move the chains. First down.
That's gutsy play. That's just going and getting it for your quarterback. Hoffman puts his head down and says, you know what? I'm getting this first down. Almost lost the ball. Probably threw off the rhythm a little bit, and then he goes north-south, gets upfield.
And he ran behind Burkhardt, as you know. What a great guy to have out in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a player down. Vans Ice Cream Heaven on Dairy Street is a place to take your family. Choose from over 60 soft-serve ice cream flavors after a nice lunch or supper with a choice of homemade food items like the legendary pretzel sandwiches, buffalo chicken wraps, homemade soups, and much, much more. Get your Christmas tree at Ice Cream Haven and make it a family affair. If you buy a tree, the whole family gets hot chocolate for free. You heard it right. Buy a tree, the whole family gets hot chocolate for free. Stop by Ice Cream Haven on Dairy Street for the holidays. All right, welcome back. 4:24 to play. And I didn't get an opportunity.
It was Jai Burney went down.
Okay.
But he did give a thumbs up as he was coming out.
It's good to know that Jai Burney is up. He was our down player. Burkhardt. Tackled by Andre White, and along with Harold O'Neal. And, yeah, coming up also Dante Nichols make the tackle. Team effort there.
You see Burney is getting some attention on the sideline because I know they want to get him back in. With him being out of that middle of the defense, along with Andre White, that'll be big. So we'll see. We'll have to keep a monitor on that and see if he gets back in the game.
This is an element of surprise. Hoffman looked up like he was going to look over the sideline, and the Cougars looked over their sideline, and Hoffman snapped it quick, picked up a couple more. He picked up 7 on it. And they're running the ball right up the gut now.
Yeah, they're running and they're getting, 3-4 yards a pop, but it gives you down and distance. It's manageable.
Burkhardt, right side. Going to get a healthy dose of him. Andre White will come up to make the tackle.
And there's Jai Burney back in the game, but then Burkhardt is down now after that collision with White.
I think he was holding his hamstring for a minute. Not sure. Or his knee. Was his knee? Let's take a look at it again.
And these two have met each other all game long. Oh!
Oh, man. That did not look good. High School Sports Live is proud to partner with Mazzetti & Sullivan, a provider of substance use and mental health counseling services for teens and adults at 4 convenient locations across central Pennsylvania since 1983. Visit them at mazzettiandsullivan.com or call 1-800-809-2925. Mazzetti & Sullivan,
We listen, we help. As a trusted local community bank, Mid-Penn Bank offers options for families including Simply Free Checking, a Young Savers account, and great rates on CDs and money markets, and an array of financing options including mortgages and home equity loans. Stop at a Mid-Penn Bank branch near you or visit midpennbank.com to learn more.
Welcome back. Burkhart was the down player, so we're hoping that he has 9 carries and 24 yards, so hoping he's okay. Hoffman shotgun formation. He'll send Lesher right side, and he'll be stood up.
And Lesher's definitely capable of running the ball. Again, if Burkhart doesn't return, where he's going to be missed all over the field, but on defense is very important. Not having him on defense brings up a 3rd and 3 manageable, and this is usually Noah Hoffman time, quarterback keeper time. So don't be surprised if we see number 13 keep the ball.
So you look at the 3rd down situation. Central Dolphins 2 for 8. Harrisburg's 2 for 8 on 3rd downs. So this is 3rd and 3, a big 3rd and 3 for Central Dauphin. As time's ticking away here in the 3rd quarter, it's down 2:30. Ball will be on the 43-yard line, 3rd and 3 for Hoffman. He's going to send Fleischer in motion. He'll get the ball, 25, right side. Going to pick up the 1st down, move the chain, Central Dauphin.
And again, it looks like Central Dauphin has found something on that right side of their offensive line. So they're running it right there. You got a little bit of over pursuit in the middle of the defense for Harrisburg.
And Shaquan Carter-Barton came up, this junior, to make the tackle for Harrisburg. 2:13 to play. 1st down in the 3rd quarter here. It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 38-yard line for Central Dauphin.
And again, this was very important for CD offensively to have a sustained drive after what happened to them on the last drive.
Tries right side. He'll be taken down, a wrestle by Jai Burney. Yeah, Jai Burney out there solo with him. Got a little help from that backside, but that's a tough matchup. That's a tough guy to beat on that end. Dante Nichols also coming up to make the tackle and help. 1:35, 2nd down and 9. Ball 37-yard line for the Rams. Every time you have this ball possession in this district championship, down 8-0 now seems like a lot of points.
Yeah.
Depending on how tough this defense has been with the Cougar side. Jet sweep keeper for Hoffman, right side. Burney had him.
Wow.
Coming up and making a great open field tackle is Dante Kent.
And Burney came out of nowhere and just, stoned Hoffman, but then he got more help.
Gotta give credit to Hoffman. He is a tough kid.
He is definitely a tough kid.
He's taking some shots today. Really all season. Single receivers left and right. And tonight, Central Dauphin only has 1 run that's longer than 9 yards. So it's 3rd and 8. They're going to try to chip away at it here. Hoffman's going to have to put it up. Actually, he's going to keep it. Hoffman's going to scramble. He's going to be shy of the 1st down. Jai Burney coming up to make the tackle. He had some help.
And I would think that this is 4-down territory for Central Dauphin. I mean, you're not going to go field goal. This is in that area where do you punt it and try to pin them down where it comes to the 20, or do you go for it? And it look like we'll end the half or end the quarter right there going into the 4th.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. 8-0 Harrisburg on the lead here.
Living proof of the difference you can make when you're all for health. Highmark Blue Shield.
I am anything I want to be.
I am one of the faces of Commonwealth Charter Academy.
I go to school online, tuition free.
I learn best at my own pace.
My own pace.
I see school differently. I learn from anywhere.
From anywhere. I'm an artist.
I'm a musician.
I am an athlete. I am anything I want to be. And I won't stop learning. I am CCA.
Join me today at ccaeducate.me.
Well, welcome back to Landis Field. We got the band and the mid-pin student section. The Rams, it's a cold, cold night. I mean, they had to shovel off the field. They had to shovel off the stands tonight. And the Rams faithful come out tonight for our mid-pin bank student section. We'll highlight those guys standing in the cold. They're the visitors tonight, believe it or not, here at home. If that's what you want to call it for the District 6 Championship. This is originally going to be played at West Shore Stadium, and a lot of changes were beginning to happen. Anyway, back to play. New 12 minutes on the clock, 4th and 5 for Hoffman. He was 5 for 8 for 28 yards passing right now. And Burkhart's back in the game, and that's good to see. I was really worried. I know a lot of the fans were worried at 46 that they'd see him again. He looked like he took a bad spin on the leg there. But he's back in the game. 4th down and 5, ball and 33. Hoffman, no time to pass, and he'll be sacked.
Yeah, that defense is just, that defense is serious.
Elijah Scott came in to get him.
I mean, he didn't even have time to even look out to another read. That first read was closed down. It was over. I mean, he was in the grasp at that point.
I mean, he had 1 Mississippi, 1.5, maybe that. And it was Elijah Scott and Post coming in to make the tackle. Was also Shaquan Carter-Barton.
Well, if there's one thing that drive did, was it gave your defense time. Now, you do have guys that go both ways. Burkhart does, and several other guys go both ways. But for the most part, gave that defense a little bit time to get themselves together a little bit from that other drive they had.
Everson's going to look to the sideline, waiting for the play. He trips receivers here to the left. One single receiver far right.
Look for Harrisburg to go right up the gut.
Purdy is the back.
Or not.
Everson steps up to the pocket, bounce outside, look downfield to throw like he normally does. The pass is complete to Dante Kent across the 35-yard line.
And Kent was wide open in the secondary, so it's a box coverage by the Rams on the back end.
Everson is 11 for 19 for 134 yards. And another Central Dauphin player down.
I wondered if this is a cramp of some sort.
Could be. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more after these messages.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rental, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your projects from start to finish. With 11 locations, Groff Tractor is always close by your equipment needs. Groff also offers 24/7 field service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Welcome back. 11:43, 1st down and 10. Harrisburg with the ball. Harrison, give to Plant. Plant right side, looking to bounce one out. Flags down. I think it's going to come back. It's going to be holding on the Harrisburg Cougars.
Yeah, I think this will definitely come back.
It's going to be holding. I know Everson was very frustrated. It was a drive stopper, really. I think they got Elijah Millinger on the hold, number 74. Everson to Plant. No, he pulls it out, keeps it himself. Sheds a tackler, fires it down the field, and then completes it. He completed to Rynell Gant.
Wow. And what's more impressive is none of his offensive linemen went downfield. They were pretty much where they needed to be. They stayed home, as opposed to that usually on plays like that, you'll get guys downfield at some point.
Athletic play out of Kane Everson. Somebody had him in the grasp, but I missed who it was. And
I mean, it got positive yards. I will say Central Dauphin defends that very well, though. They didn't give up a big play, but it was positive yards offensively.
2nd and 15. Pitch to the speedster, Hope. And Hope will be hit pretty hard coming up to make the tackles. Fuller, Tyrese Fuller. He's a junior. He's 6'3", 169 pounds.
And we've seen Fuller grow up right before our eyes. I mean, if you look at his game last week, last time they played against this game, those two corners have played very well. I mean, they've done a really good job, and they got burned a little bit in the first game. Not today. I mean, you figure Harrisburg got 239. Most of that was on the last drive, but for the most part, they've held up pretty good.
Total yards, Harrisburg has 239. And the Harrisburg defense have held Central Dauphin 116 yards here in 4 quarters. Forward pass to Plant, or was that that's Kayvon Hope again. And trying to get the ball in Hope's hands.
Yeah, and I think what you're going to see from Harrisburg is they want to pin this Central Dauphin team deep as possible, so that they'll have to march the entire field against this defense, and your defense is one of the best in the state. So you're thinking, hey, I'll pin them back and go from there. But the punter is the quarterback. So when you have a situation where your punter is Kane Everson, you got to always worry about what's going on.
You got to worry about it. 4th and 10. Everson's going to run and try to pin him. It's going to be inside the 10 at the 12-yard line. I think it went out.
A little pooch punt, and you saw Kane looking up. He's looking up to see if that side totally collapses. You're going to see him turn on the Jets. But he didn't collapse, and then he pooch punted it.
You could tell he has the option.
Oh, yeah.
And why not? I mean, he's Kane Everson. He has 33 TDs total this year. He has 1,984 passing yards. Rushing yards himself, 827.
I mean, think of this. Last year when Yamir Wilkerson graduated, everybody was wondering what was going to happen at the quarterback position. You get Kane Everson. He comes over from Central Dauphin East. He doesn't even want to play quarterback. He wants to stay corner. He's an Army recruit. Will be playing for Army next year. And here he comes in and has this kind of a season.
Man, oh man, stood up as last year. Man, Jai Burney just.
Ooh, I really believe that the offensive lineman can't get to him. He's so active and quick as a linebacker. You try to reach block him, and he's not even at the spot where you saw him because he's so fast, and he diagnoses plays so well. So look at him. He comes out of nowhere, sheds a block, and then comes up and stones the ball carrier.
Man, when you run into him, he's like a little wall.
Exactly. And you probably don't see him until he's already in your chin. That's the bad part about it.
2nd and 7. Hoffman, give to Burkhart. Burkhart picks up maybe 1. He was tackled and wrestled down by number 55, Jeffrey Chisholm Wilkerson, the senior. 8:47 to play. Time is not on the Rams side right now. 3rd down and 4. On the 19-yard line. Can't quite get things going here. Hoffman looking over the field at the offensive coordinator, try to get the play. Going to go over top, and it's going to be complete. It's going to be dropped.
Wow. That was a first down.
Timmy Smith had the first down and a little bit more, and he dropped it. And that's going to bring up a 4th down with Central Dauphin backed up on the 19-yard line.
Yeah, you had the young sophomore,
Smith.
Runs the perfect route, ball right in his hands, slipped right behind where Bernie was. First down ball, and I know you definitely know he wants that back.
Central Dauphin will have to punt. And Minnick will punt the ball, and it's going to take a roll, and it's going to be picked up. Dove across the 50-yard line. Oh, it took a chance with it.
It was dangerous, but it saved you field position, so you actually gained some, but that was a dangerous play right there.
Dante Kent came up and took it, dove forward, and the ball will be on the 49-yard line.
So you got 8 minutes. You're up 8-0. You got good field position. Will Harrisburg commit to running the ball and see if they can salt this game away by pounding the ball?
Archie Smith, let's go down to you. I mean, that really sounds to be the formula. But they're going out of this open spread look here.
They're spreading these guys out, and they're trying to get them on the edge, and they're also countering with going up between the tackles, guys. But one thing that Central Dauphin has been, besides that one drive, they still has been sustaining and containing Harrisburg besides that one drive, guys. But I still like what their defense is doing. They're playing tough, they're playing physical, and they are. And one thing that I see is not that many missed tackles. And one extra thing I wanted to say was, this whole game has been a hit parade.
Oh yeah, the
no
whole
doubt.
game.
You called that, Archie, and just that last hit when, I mean, Kayvon Hope just took a pounding, and I missed who hit him, but it was squared on, faced on. I mean, Purdy's laying the wood tonight too. All these guys are. And Central Dolphins have always been a physical team.
And you say Purdy right up the middle, and you saw him get north-south. So, again, this has been you talk about a defensive game. This has been two amazing defenses.
I love it.
And we've seen it all year with both of these teams. It's been hard sledding. The only time we saw Harrisburg look shakier on defense was the first game of the season against a mammoth in Coatesville. The only time we really saw Central Dauphin struggle was early in the season against Manheim Township, who they have then avenged in the playoffs. So other than that, we've seen both of these teams play some really good defense all year long. And the one thing Archie hit it, the tackling. The tackling on both of these teams have been amazing all year.
If you can watch these guys, they're trying to get the clock back to the right where it needs to be at. But as you can see, these guys are coming up, and the same thing you said with Harrisburg, you see the black jerseys everywhere. You also see the white jerseys. I mean, Central Dauphin is everywhere out here making tackles, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So it's 3rd and 2, 7-17. Harrison gives to Plant. Plant's going to move the chains for Harrisburg.
And tackled by number 73, Baylor. We've called his name all game. I mean, he's done such a good job anchoring the middle of that defense, and he's one of the reasons why it's been hard sledding. I mean, Todd, Harrisburg averages 40 points a game. They have 8.
That's
Central Dauphin averages 28 points a game. They have nothing. So that tells you what kind of defense we're looking at on both of these teams.
And you said a little healthy dose of running. Jameer Plant picks up a big one for Harrisburg. Now they're back in the red zone.
Yeah, I just think that right now, Harrisburg running, you see where Central Dauphin, their goal is to contain Kane Everson. You can't contain Kane Everson and still be strong inside. One of those things is going to take something, and there you go. Big gains like this at this point. That CD defense is getting tired, and we got a touchdown.
Somehow Purdy stayed on his feet. I thought for a moment that he would be ripped down, and Purdy gets into the end zone for a touchdown for Harrisburg. You'll have to see it again. I mean, I was about ready to call him down, but he found a way. And you'll take a look at it again from the start.
What you have is you have fresh legs from Purdy. Purdy hasn't played tons all game. He's gotten in spot duty. He's fresh legs. This Central Dauphin defense has been on the field 2 long drives. So what do you have? You have a fresh leg running back that has some speed to him. You run the ball up inside, he gets the touchdown.
What a strong run. Purdy ran into his own blockers, bounced off of him, stepped in for a touchdown. And that was 22-yard TD run by Purdy. 6:38 to play here. Everson's going to go for 2 again. Going to roll left. Now back right again. Looking. Got a lot of guys on the other side, and it's converted. He was basically directing traffic, and he goes to the big tight end Wigfall. That's Lemire Wigfall. I'm not sure why they don't go to this big guy more often, number 18.
You think about the Central Dauphin.
Every day, we pride ourselves in what we do. Hard work is put into every pre-owned vehicle we put on the road. We make sure they are all safe and reliable for your peace of mind. Your real value comes from the Hoffman name and the people that stand behind it. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, just call me, Ryan.
Let's take a look at that last drive. And you talked about this, you kind of feel bad for the Rams right now because they have really bottled, as you said, bottled this team up. But then it's fresh legs, and Purdy started got something. Plant started getting going, and Purdy comes backside. Look at this. Runs into his blockers right here. Boom! Bounce out. Touchdown, Harrisburg Cougars.
Well, think about it. When you start, and you called it, when you start pulling in so many players, so you're getting the ball into everybody's hands. Everybody gets a piece of the pie. It's a little different when you got Kane Everson and there's this reliance on him.
Yeah.
Well, you saw Coach Everett said, you know what? Let's run the ball. Let's run a couple of guys. Let's mix it up, and let's spread the ball around. We got playmakers everywhere, and then you can't defend everybody. And I think that's what ended up happening.
Zion Wilkerson set to kick. Griff's is going to step out at the 30-yard line. He'll take the kick.
And then more importantly, what Harrisburg has been able to do defensively, Todd, has been amazing. Impressive. Like they have stymied this Central Dauphin offense. The only offense they've really gained is a trick play that you got a pass interference on, and some decent positive runs from the quarterback. Some of them on busted plays, some of them on option routes. And this defense is just swarms. They have this mentality of as many black hats on the ball as possible, and that's what they do. And they fill every gap, they fill every lane, and they make it so hard for you to get positive yards.
Burkhart in motion. Hoffman's pass is complete. Chimente. He'll be upended by Andre White Jr. There's 6:20 to play. It'll be 2nd and 2 for the Rams. Boy, being down 16, it's a lot when you struggle getting the ball in the air. So Hoffman keeping left side. And he's just going to be pushed back. It's a tough defensive line to run against.
It looks like he will get enough for the first down.
He moved it. I wasn't sure where the spot would be. Would you? I mean, they say he got it, so. So 1st and 10, 5:58 to play here in the 4th quarter in the game. Give to Burkhart. Burkhart trying to find an opening, running forward.
And City's going to do what they do. I mean, they run the ball. I mean, the clock is winding, and you're in an uphill battle right now.
2nd and 5. Hoffman will be in the shotgun formation. Burkhart behind him. They go to Timmy Smith. Smith will cross the 50-yard line, and he'll be wrestled down by Brian Yates for Harrisburg. Hoffman on his own, left side. Oh, man. Hit by a lot of people, Andre White.
And you can say that every game. I mean, between
Brian Yates.
Andre White, Yates, Bernie, I mean, these guys, the number of tackles that these guys have, I mean, it's up there. I mean, right. They're on every play, and it's so many of them that are on every play.
Harold O'Neal also coming in to make that tackle as well.
But those two in the middle, White and Bernie, I mean, those guys in the defensive line does a phenomenal job keeping those guys clean and their ability to roam around back there.
Aren't they a little bit like Batman and Robin? I'll let them argue that. Chimente across the middle, and Central Dauphin said, wait a minute, we're not done yet. Crossing the 20-yard line.
There's time.
Plenty of time.
There's time.
What'd you see, Archie Smith Jr.? That was a great play developed from the get-go.
One thing that's been exceptional in Harrisburg defense has been the open of the part of the field, because those linebackers are playing so close to the line of scrimmage, anticipating the run, and you have the receivers running drag routes, running in routes, and running slant routes behind there. He had like 3 catches on that, guys, and that play is still there for Central Dauphin.
Hoffman still on his feet. You've got to give this kid's been a soldier in this game.
He's had, for a quarterback to have this much going against this defense. I mean, he's had a tough game, and he's shown toughness. And that's the one thing, this Central Dauphin defense, this team in general, offense and defense, has shown toughness. And there you saw linemen getting where they needed to get to.
Burkhart pushing, and he's not going to be able to get in there to be stood up. But he didn't move the chains. Of a fresh set of downs here.
White just right there. I mean, those two have met all game long. I mean, they've met all game long.
First and goal. Burkhart down low. Did he get in? And it'll be a touchdown. Central Dauphin. Game not over yet.
Yeah, definitely not over. And this is big. This extra point, whatever they plan to do here, is going to be huge. If they can get this extra point, this is a one-score game.
One more look at it again. Burkhart just, well, we got blocked here by the official, but look at it again. Burkhart just dives forward and lunges in. And that's going to excite the Ram fans a little bit over here. They're going to go for two. Little touch pass, and it's, I don't know, it just didn't.
No, you had Andre White in the middle. His 6'3" self. The jump pass, he just tapped that right to himself and picked it off.
Look at Batman. Batman just said, are you trying to do this? Really? One more look at it again. Okay. We go up here, over the top. That's the touchdown. 16-6. More to come back after these messages.
I can really buy local produce at Giant?
Yep, brought it in from our backyard. Well, not my backyard, but close.
Sweet.
Find out about our backyard at giantfoodstores.com/local. Giant, the official grocery store of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Well, 16-6. Central Dauphin does get on the board. He went for a 2-point conversion and didn't happen for him. But taking a look at this, that last drive from the get-go was a lot that Hoffman did. A big pickup by Tremente.
That was the play right there.
That was what set it up in the red zone. And then Hoffman did some things himself, keeping it, pushing, trying to work for every single yard. And Burkhart's going to lunge forward for 2 yards out and make it a touchdown. And Harrisburg will have the ball. So it was a 9-play, 70-yard drive, chewed up 3 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock. It's an opportunity to think for 10 years we've been doing it, thinking everybody that's involved from Invicta Sports to High School Sports Live and Charlie Fortney and the crew, but Invicta and the cameraman TJ Smith and Don and Donna Lattimore, the Edwards family, Chad Edwards, our executive producer, Kaylee. Just every time, Josh Edwards, everybody from the truck to the people who set up prior to us ever getting here, and all we have to do is put our warm jackets on, come up and call a game, but it's been 10 years of working with a great crew of people.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean, it's, it always is sad to end the season. It's been such an amazing season, and we still have 3:30 left, so this game is far from over.
And Vargas will bring down Purdy, and there'll be a timeout called.
And Central Dauphin has all their timeouts.
They have a fresh 3.
They just use one.
They're going to use one here with 2 more to go. 3:24 to play.
And the key will be if Harrisburg gets a first down, they could pretty much salt this game away. But again, I know we talk about the end of the season, and for me, when I look back at this season, this is the season of the quarterback. I mean, we talked about that a couple of games ago. Man, we have seen some amazing signal callers, all year long. I mean, there's been some really good quarterback play across the mid-state, in particular this Mid-Penn conference, but we got a chance to go down to York as well and just saw some really good quarterback play.
We did. And you said it from the get-go. We knew when that season started, and we saw the signal callers that we had this year. There was a special time in football, in Central Pennsylvania football around here. Dean Everson. He's got Plant beside him. Plant has 17 carries and 103 yards and a TD tonight. He's going to fake the pitch. This time he's going to give it to Plant. Plant down the sideline. Plant fumbles it. But I think Central Dauphin got it back.
Yeah. Yes, he did get it back.
I think he turned it over and Central Dauphin will get it.
And then we got a flag. And that was a bad mistake there.
And then I think I saw a Cougar hit somebody in the helmet or in the face. We're going to let the officials talk about this. Archie Smith Jr., do you have any indication? They're going to wave the flag off, and Central Dauphin's going to have the ball.
And everything about this play was good. It was an option. He keeps it, pitches it, and then Plant just loses the ball. Gets the first down and just loses the ball. And Ty Fuller gets the fumble recovery.
Fuller comes up with a big play. So Ty is out of bounds there.
That's a good point. The officials may have missed that.
I don't know, man. They don't get a chance to look at it again. But it's Central Dauphin's ball for now. 3:17, 1st and 10. Hoffman, nowhere to go. And he's going to be hit for a loss for Shaquan Carter-Barton come up to make that tackle. 3:05 to play. It'll be second.
And Barton's one of those defensive linemen that plays very well up front. 6 foot, 200-pound defensive end.
Play action to Burkhart. Hoffman's going to have to get rid of it. He does. He finds Clemente across the 50. He'll be knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
And Clemente, what do you like? What I like about him is he works back to the ball. He works back to his quarterback and gets open. And Hoffman finds him to get the first down.
So 2:43 to play. 1st down and 10 for Central Dauphin. Don't go anywhere. The Rams got some more to say here before the books close. Left side, Hoffman going to keep it. Tucks it away and gets wrestled down by Andre White Jr. You want to talk about a tackle.
And White came from, he came from deep. Full speed, full steam. Your Texas A&M recruit.
Wow.
Big man tackle there.
Full speed. Wow. Hoffman downfield, hits Clemente. And it's going to be a 1st down. Now, I don't know why we aren't looking at 3 the whole way if you're Central Dauphin Ram. I mean, he comes back, he runs good routes.
Yeah, I think they tried to get it to him, and sometimes, right now Hoffman has time. He didn't have time early on. They're going max protect a little bit, keeping a lot of guys in the block. Clemente is like one of the only ones out in the route.
Hoffman, left side. Hoffman with the hole. Picking up a lot.
And the clock just keeps on ticking.
They're going to have to hurry up. Now they have 2 timeouts. Harrisburg has 2. Hoffman going to have to keep it. Staying on his feet. And they're going to take, are they going to take a timeout? Central Dauphin's going to take a timeout. Jerome, you know what time it is, right?
Well, it's the hit parade, and Archie kind of took some of the thunder with it and just said the whole game is a hit parade. And I think he's right. We got the flame, we got the hit parade, my favorite time. And you get quarterbacks that get slammed by linebackers. That's huge. And then you get, oh my goodness, you got defensive ends coming off the corner. This whole game has been a hit parade, and that's what I like. Guys are coming up and just laying the wood to people. Hit parade, Harrisburg, Central Dauphin. There's no better place to be right now. Got the Texas A&M recruit getting in the action, and let's talk about the game he's had today, Andre White Jr. He has been all over the place. There you go, you see him again. And then, there you go again. And this is all, I mean, and many of those was on the quarterback. That shows you how tough number 13 is for Central Dauphin, though. Hoffman has been tough today.
Soldier. That's the Invicta Sports Hit Parade.
Bam, my favorite time of the game.
It might be one of the hardest hitting hit parades I've seen in a long time.
This is one of the better hit parades we've had because it's been all game since the ball got put in play in the first quarter till now.
3rd and 2. Hoffman going to keep it himself. Hoffman. I got to give it to him. Number 13 running hard. Moving the chains, picking up the first down. Going to have to hurry up. They have 1 timeout left.
Like I said, this game is not over by any means.
So they're going to kill the ball there. Stop the clock to get the play call. So it'll be a 2nd and 10 from the 15. You know, you figure you might have had a play coming to that line and not have to spike that. But.
Well, it saved you a timeout. I mean, I think what you're seeing is they want to, Central Dauphin wants to keep that timeout for when they need it. You never know when you're going to use it, so you don't want to just give that away. So get up, spike the ball, 1:17 left, game's not over. You still have time.
2nd and 10. Hoffman looking left side, Clemente. And it's going to be picked off. Right now, Gant, and that's going to be it. They'll just have to run the clock out. Gant come up and made the big play on the corner.
And we do know Gant is an exceptional defensive back on that back end. I mean, that's the one thing we didn't talk much about is how good they are at the cornerback position and the safety position. They're hard to throw on. You know, they got that monster pass rush up front, but those guys play very good defense on the back end as well.
We're going to also take an opportunity to thank Travis Sparks, our statistician, who's done such a great job for us all year. But right here, Noah Hoffman going up top. Clemente on the corner, and it's going to be picked off by Rynell Gant.
So you wanted it to go to the guy that's your best receiver is Clemente. You wanted that. But Gant is very good on the back end, and he played that very well for a corner. Small corner at that, went to the summit and got the ball.
I'm with you, Jerome. I'm with you. I got my best receiver out here against one of their top DBs, and that's the play you live with. That's the play you live with as a coach, guys, and that's what you live with as players, and this is why we play this great game.
That's absolutely
right. Archie Smith Jr., we thank you for all of your efforts on the sideline. We got to look at a player of a game, guys. I mean,
man,
I almost want to go defensive side. I mean, Kane Everson's done some great things. Jamar Plant's done some great things.
You know, I'm more leaning to defense. Andre White, man. I think defensively, he was a monster. You're talking about how good he's been his entire high school career.
I agree, guys.
He came in to the district championship game and said, you know what, not on my watch. And he shut it down. Him and Jai Burney together, they really did it. So I would say the player of the game is definitely Andre White Jr. This is probably the best he's played, and we've seen amazing games from him. And he was amazing.
Well, the Harrisburg Cougars are going to go on to win the District 6A championship here at Landis Field, 16-6. And our player of the game will be Andre White Jr. for his defensive efforts. We know guys did a lot of great things. Kane Everson completed 11 passes in the second half. Jamar Plant with a touchdown, but it's going to go to the defensive side tonight. The guys that really, I thought, a workhorse, Batman and Robin and Andre White Jr. and his co-linebacker, buddy Jai Burney, they came to play tonight along with a lot of others. But you take nothing away from what the Central Dauphin Rams did this whole season at 9-3. They fall to 9-4 and lose here at Landis Field, but played dog out hard as they could.
And
tonight.
you held, the first time you played them, you held a 40-point team to 20 points. This time you hold a 40-point team to 16 points. That tells you the defense that we saw on display from Central Dauphin. They were tough defensively, and somebody had to lose this game, unfortunately. But when you talk about defenses, you're talking about two of the better defenses that we've seen all year and how stout they've been. So hats off to them. You know, the season ends for Central Dauphin. Harrisburg will then go into states, and I really hope we get a Coatesville-Harrisburg rematch. I would love to see that at some point. But we'll see what happens today. Is Harrisburg's day. They will win the district championship. And it's amazing. We look at how talented they were last year, and they didn't get there. They didn't win the district championship.
Right.
This year they did.
Well, we'll be back with more our Giant post-game show of our post-game analysis, our Pizza Hut play of the game, and our Hoffman Ford player of the game coming right up after these messages.
Under a new state law, all electronics must be recycled.
Welcome to the Dauphin County Recycling Center, where recycling is quick, easy, and free.
You may recycle appliances or even cell phones.
We're open 6 days a week, and recycling is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Contact our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or visit our website for more information.
Help us protect our planet, because tomorrow does matter.
What were you thinking, Chuck?
You're not 18 anymore.
Is my leg supposed to bend like that?
6 months on the heating pad. I hope it was worth it.
I wonder if cartilage grows back.
Yep, that's gonna break right in half.
This looks so easy on TV.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rental, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your projects from start to finish. With 11 locations, Groff Tractor is always close by your equipment needs. Groff also offers 24/7 field service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Just what you're looking for, Hoffman has it.
And at HoffmanFord.com, they make it easy to find the new or used Ford you've been looking for. Search nearly 500 new and used vehicles right at your fingertips. And when you find one you like, you can even get pre-approved by applying online. Plus, you can chat live or text a real person to answer any questions you may have. Start your shopping at HoffmanFord.com. They make it easy to get into a new or used Ford today.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for, Hoffman has it.
Well, stay tuned. Or here, nothing to stay tuned for. Stay tuned for future state play out of this team. Harrisburg Cougars go on to win the 6A championship here at Landis Field, 16-6. Welcome back to our Giant postgame report. Todd McCall, Jerome Presley, Archie Smith will be joining us up here along with our whole crew here in a few moments. But this game was a game won in the second half really by Harrisburg in terms of they limited their penalties. That was one of the big things. And then some big plays mixed it up a little bit. They got the ball in hands of speedy receivers, but one of the big plays that set it up, our Pizza Hut play of the game, was this one right here. And as they're getting it together, you can see the Harrisburg Cougar fans real excited, but this is our Pizza Hut play of the game. And Jerome, you take us on this right here. Everson can throw the ball. We know that. Yeah. You said many times didn't want to play quarterback, but look at that catch. That was beautiful by Dante Kent to get his feet in.
Yeah, for Kane Everson to be as small as he is, he delivers a very good ball. He's a lefty, and he just puts the ball right where it needs to be into his playmaker's hands. And again, this Cougar team, you know, they have had an amazing season. I think when you come into this season, no one thought with the losses they had last year, no one thought Harrisburg was going to be this good. You know, they come out, stumble out the blocks, and then they come out and then do this.
And then our Huffman Ford player of the game, we went defensive side this way. We could have talked offensively, but it was because of this 22 tackles by Andre White Jr. I mean, this kid was all over the field. He had a lot of help on that defensive side, but look at that. He said, forget the two-point conversion, knocks it out of the air. Andre White, the Texas A&M recruit, and look, wow. That's Superman.
He had an amazing game, and this is what we expected from him. He comes into this year with all the fanfare. Everybody knew he's one of the best linebackers in the state of Pennsylvania, maybe one of the top linebackers in the nation. And he comes out in this district championship game, and he plays to that. We saw him and Hoffman. They engaged each other pretty much the entire game. Everywhere Hoffman went, he was there, and he shut him down.
And I just felt that right from the get-go, this game had that district championship. The feel in the air was both teams were really prepared. I think when you looked at both teams and you look at the celebration that's going on there, when you look at both teams, they knew defensively they played so well. Now the Cougars will go 12-1 as they move on to the state playoffs, state semis, and then we've talked about what a potential matchup, Coatesville, Harrisburg again. That was their only loss. Harrisburg's only loss in the beginning of the year, first game of the season. Coatesville beat them at home pretty soundly. But it's a different team now.
Oh, it's a very, very different team. And
actually,
that's not, Coatesville's a different team too. So we'll that would be a really good game to see, and I definitely will make sure that I'm seeing that somewhere. But again, I think this Harrisburg team showed what they're made of. Coach Everett has done an amazing job with this group. And Kane Everson coming over from CDs, he became a star. As a quarterback, not just a quarterback, he became a star. Right. And you see Yamir Wilkerson and all the work that he did. He was amazing here, and then they get him.
Well, we're going to take a break here on our post game. As we take this moment to look back at 10 years and the highlight of the season as we go out, we'll be right back. But take a look at this season. What a tremendous season it had been. The highlights of this season. This was our 10th year, and we had plenty of playmaking with Charlie Fortney, our director, Archie Smith Jr., Jerome Presley. It's been a great year. It was a year of quarterbacks, we said, but tonight was a year of defense. Charlie?
Well, I mean, I tell you, I'm just proud of you guys. You did such a good job. I mean, you guys know your stuff. I mean, when I listen to the broadcast, I don't understand what you're saying because I'm just a basketball guy. That's why we have you guys. But you did a great job. I just want to be on behalf of the fans. When I'm at the restaurants or eating out at the diner with my dad, one guy comes up to me and says he likes Archie. Another guy says he likes Todd. And the other one says, where'd you get that guy, Jerome? So you guys are household names, and you deserve a lot of credit. You did a good job.
Well, we really appreciate it, and we'll pass the mic back. I got you the surprise there, but Archie Smith Jr. coming in this season, it's been a great 10 years. Friday night football, it just brings so much excitement. And I know for you, playing in Alabama and coming to Central PA, you've enjoyed this time too.
Hey, one thing that I say here, man, it is some talent up here, and there'll be some football that's played here. And like we seen tonight, this is a District 3 championship game. Even though it started off, rocket, but we always say, man, the game of football is never over until all zeros is on the clock in the fourth quarter. And we seen when we got Central Dauphin almost was knocking at that door. I think it's a different game if they come with that 2-point conversion, but still you can see them settle down and still fight to the end, man. And that's what you love about this beautiful game that we cover and the kids play.
It was fight to the end. 16-6, 6A championship. Tonight Central Dauphin falls short, but boy, what a great season. They go to 9-4. And then inside our truck, TJ Smith, the Edwards family, Kaylee, Chad, our executive producer, and there's Josh also down there. We've got, I'm trying to look closely as we see the pictures, Jay Leo down there on the bottom right, and we Donna Lattimore and Don Lattimore. That's our whole crew. Those are the guys that make everybody look pretty when they come here. And that's a good-looking crew, by the way, too. I mean, a few times Droma and I, we tried Jerome and I tried to help with cords one time, and we got fired for that job.
Yeah,
and maybe it's good that we got fired and we got an opportunity. We were broadcasting. We thought we'd help the guys out. Jerome did a better job than me, I would say. I was a little tired by the third step up with the ropes, but we love what those guys do in Invicta and what everybody here from High School Sports Live. We want to wish you all really a happy Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas coming up, but we're not done yet. Our winter season's coming right around the corner. We got some great matchup, guys, girls, double hitters, some great basketball being played out there. That's coming up in the wintertime, so stay tuned. Look at the schedule at High School Sports Live TV. That is where you're going to find out all your schedule, your winter matchups, your basketball, your wrestling, and we've got some highlights in right here too as well. We're going to roll out, and don't forget, coming right up is our giant food and our Central Penn food bank. They've been given to the food bank, and Giant does some tremendous things. So stay tuned for the end of the game for a nice clip featuring Giant Food in the Central PA food bank. That's all we'll have here from Landis Field tonight. Harrisburg comes away with a 6A championship, 16-6.